Good evening and welcome back to another episode of the SideQuest podcast. I'm your host Qcento and I'm here with a very special guest today, Matthew, aka Defeated Souls. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. I wanted to first say thank you for having me. This is pretty freaking exciting coming from a gaming perspective, you know?
Yeah, my pleasure, man. I love that we bring in primarily Canadian gamers just like myself. It's great to meet, other people that are doing the same thing as me, especially when I'm cooped up in the basement just playing away all day, right? So nice
Felt.
to meet you, man. This week we're going to be talking about 2025 in general. A summary because we're coming towards the end of the year. Was 2025 actually a good year for gaming?
For the most part, I think it is. I mean, there's a lot of yes and no's. There's a lot of, bug launches, a little botch stuff. But for the most part, I think the year was good.
Awesome. I think it was all right. I think it was all right. There's always room to be better, but we
hmm
had a lot of heavy hits come out this year. And if you guys are tuning in, let us know as well. What do you think of 2025 in general? Was it a great year for gaming? What were your favorite titles? What would make 2026 a better year for gaming? And love to hear all the feedback on that. But before we even get into the show today, tell me a little bit about yourself. I know that you're a real gaming focused content creator. You primarily stream on Kick. What's the history with your streaming career? Where'd you get started? What'd you get started with? What are you playing right now? Tell me your life story.
So, where I got started, I was over on Twitch years ago, and it was mainly Rust. Toxicity at its finest was my
Peak.
content.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I started with Rust. We did some other stuff. I did a lot of Pokemon. I mean, I'm in my 30s. It was my childhood. Pokemon games were where it
Oh,
was
yeah.
at when I was younger. So there was a lot of Pokemon there. I took a hiatus. Unfortunately, back then, streaming wasn't a full time gig opportunity. I had to do them 9 to 5s. So we did a lot of work, and I took a hiatus in the end of 2023. Basically, I kind of stuck it out, did some work from home stuff, and then early 2024 things got a little rough, and I needed to realize that it was my mental health over everything. So I left my job, and I was gonna go back to Twitch. And a friend of mine was like, "Hey, Kick's doing really, really good. You should give it a try." And I came to Kick, and that was April 2024, and I haven't looked back.
That's awesome, man. Just to kind of play on that a little bit, I started streaming and everything kind of mid to late COVID 2020.
hmm
I'd been playing competitively in card games for years before that, but I figured, you know what, while I'm at home, let's get a camera going, let's see what we could do. Kind of like a lot of streamers who eventually fell off. I feel like a lot of the COVID-born streamers are not really doing it anymore. I stuck with it. Now, there were two different occasions over the last 5 years that I decided to go full time and give it a go and went broke within a few months. Had to go back to work. And, hopefully, if, things continue to go the way that they're going and, I just feel inspired for 2026, I'd like to see if I can bring it back to full time again. But, big shout out to you for making it happen right now. And hopefully that you can keep the good times rolling for a bit. I'm going to show you one of my favorite games, by the way, as we kind of open up with some good luck slots here tonight, okay?
Sounds good. But yeah, it is tough. I think I hope you succeed. It is not easy. I thought it was gonna be great. I was like, oh, this is gonna be simple. Go live, play games, make money. No. Ooh,
Do you
actually know
see me?
this game quite well.
Do you see me?
Eh,
Okay, perfect.
yeah, you're
Yeah,
good.
Wacky Panda basically did a redux and it just came out with features.
S-
So now you
Oh
get these
boy.
connectors, collectors, and jackpots.
Yep.
It's not just a three-line slot anymore. We're working towards things that are bigger. So before Wacky Panda kind of, got the evolution here, I got rinsed on it pretty bad. So I've been doing a little better because this one just came out over the last few days. And, shout out to Jackpot for powering the stream. And if you guys are just tuning in here, thanks for returning to the podcast. And also make sure you drop a sub for all you new viewers coming into the chat here. It's, obviously we're in growth stage right now and big things are coming for 2026. So the support means a lot. But you mentioned that you started off with Rust when you were doing the channel, right? And did some Pokemon and stuff like that. What can viewers catch you playing this week, for example? Like, what are you getting into lately on the streams?
Lately it has been a lot of bringing back my ARPG roots. I was a Diablo kid as well. I
Okay.
remember playing Diablo in school. Ignoring my classwork. Don't do that.
Oh, close.
That was close. But a lot of it is right now. It's a lot of Path of Exile. Hey, we take the hits.
We take that.
Take the
Kind of
hits.
breaks us even ish.
Yeah, you're
It
almost
gets us,
back.
yeah, it gets us close.
But a lot of changes are coming this week. Like I'm in the process of building a new PC, so we're gonna get back into some Arc Raiders. Oh, okay, hold on. Is that
That's good. 25. We
okay?
take
We'll take
25.
it. We'll take
We're
it.
just under now. Now, you mentioned building a new PC for all the tech nerds. I know you're a big techie.
Hmm.
Let us know what's going to be in the rig.
This is gonna be my forever PC, so I kind of almost forever.
We
Uh,
say that, right? We say that.
well, yeah. Well, so CPU, we're going with AMD. I've always been Team Red. I don't think I've had an Intel CPU since I was young. So we're rocking a 9950 X3D, like top chip. I know that it's meant for creation, but it benefits on streaming as well. With doing the streaming thing, you want those extra cores. 5070 Ti. I don't need a 5090. They're still, as a techie, I know the kinks aren't worked out. Kinks
Right.
aren't worked out there. I'm not gonna put $4,000 into a card that I don't know is gonna be doing what I want to do.
Well, exactly.
Um,
Yeah. Put it where it counts, right? You can get a 2 grand card that's going to do
right.
more than enough, I'm sure.
But yeah. For the techies out here, here comes the pain for you guys. RAM. 96 gigabytes of Corsair Dominator
Holy.
Titanium. And for those who don't know RAM prices, I'm not going to get into them, but go for a Google search because let me tell you, that was a third of my build.
So close again. I know right now RAM's ridiculously priced because one of the main RAM manufacturers decided to bow out of making RAM and go towards AI technology instead.
They did.
Did you see anything about that? Yeah,
I
that's
have.
yeah. So basically, decided, hey, this is going to be more lucrative in the long run. Let's hop on the AI bandwagon. I can go on about AI all day, but we did that on the last episode. It's just everyone's kind of just latching onto that right now, and
Yeah.
for gamers just looking for some RAM at a decent price, good luck.
Right. At this point, you could sell RAM for. I've jokes aside. Ooh, come on. That was close.
We need a big hit, man. We're down 170 right now.
I'd like to see a pop. I'd like to see a feature pop. That'd
Me
be
too.
cool.
We're getting there, actually.
Okay, we'll take it. We'll take it.
I mean,
It's another
25 is
25,
great. Yeah, 25 is great. Slow and steady.
right? But for like those are the main components. The case is really my highlight. I've done some research, and it's like the Lamborghini of computer cases.
Okay.
I'm going with a beautiful. It's called the Height the Height Y70. So it's a like I don't know how to explain it. It's angled, so it's not like a straight stand up tower. It's got some like angles to it, so it's almost like a rhombus, I guess.
Hell yeah. So it's like basically like some kind of asymmetrical weird shape.
Yeah,
It's I love it.
with a beautiful 2.5 inch LCD touchscreen, like from the top of the case to the bottom. So like
So what are
I
you
can
controlling with that?
anything I want. Like I've seen images with Spotify, so like I can just tap my computer case, change the song. I can set CPU temperatures to show on the screen. I can set like little widgets. So we're
Like a little
pretty
GIF
excited.
screensaver? Yeah.
Well,
I've seen-
funny you mention that. My cooler
Mhm.
actually is, and this is the first time I've ever done this. My cooler has a 2-inch LCD screen that supports GIFs up to 500 megabytes. So I'm actually gonna have that gift with like my little stuff from stream. Chat knows I love axolotls, so there's gonna just be a gif of rolling axolotls on the computer cooler at all
500
times.
megabytes, you could pretty much run a whole anime episode.
You could, you literally could.
Just loop it in the background. That's hilarious.
Yeah, that's the plan for the PC. Like the standard basic components, Asus motherboard,
Yeah.
gorgeous Asus motherboard with more ports than I think I know what to do with, which is the sole reason I bought it.
It's
I
a better
wanted.
problem to have, though.
It is.
Yeah.
Nice $25 hit. Come on, now do that like
10 more
10 times it,
Yeah,
right?
We're down 250, so I'm hoping if we hit something here soon, then we can just at least kind of break even on this whole thing. But I feel like backing out right now is going to be a bad idea. So,
Well, you know what they say.
Yep,
90% of gamblers leave before their big hit.
exactly, and I feel it's coming.
Gamble responsibly, but 90% of gamblers leave before their big hit, and that's the thing. I wouldn't be mad with 3 of those cute purple pandas. A little 1050 real quick.
Yeah, a little 1050 goes a long way here, I
The
think.
25s are at least hitting. I can see why you're
That's
doing
the
better
thing.
than the Redux or than the
Look,
original.
see?
Sorry.
Yeah, you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Just boom, boom, boom. Like it makes you just kind of like, okay, if I get one of these every 5,
Right? You're like, what, it keeps you in. I think they've learned to do that. Obviously, like you said, shout out to Jackpot for keeping the episode strong. But I think there's a big thing to notice in the gambling scene. A lot of the older games get those reduxes, they get those changes, and it's always something with features because it keeps you in.
Yep. Exactly. I like the simplicity of the original where it was just you hop in, you run the three line, but then, it only does so much. So I like that they kept that element. They didn't go like some crazy 25, 50 line thing. And, at least there's something else to work towards now. I felt like before, it's like when you're down bad, and there's
Yeah.
no way to get out of that hole unless you hit a jackpot. So right now it's like, light at the end of the tunnel, you know what I mean?
You
So
got that small little light, but yeah, I get it. It's also aesthetically pleasing too. Like I enjoy the aesthetics of a lot of these redone games. They have, even
there
if
we
it's
go.
just as okay, we take them. Just as simple as adding in the feature. Adding in the feature, it changes the whole aesthetic to it. You're used to a single
Hmm.
3 slot run. Now you've got a little bit more flashiness, which again is partially how a lot of the companies know to entice us. We all like shiny things. Let's be real.
Oh yeah, big time. See how close we are on all three of them? I'm
Mm-hmm.
curious as well, kind of on the theme of tonight's episode here, 2025 as a whole. What's the first game that comes to mind for you when you think of 2025 gaming? Doesn't
Uh,
necessarily have to be one of the winners of the Game Awards, right? It's about what you spent some of the most time playing this year.
so what comes to mind initially is going to be a very obvious answer. It's not what I spent my time playing, but Clair Obscure is definitively what I hear when I hear 2025 gaming. That or Arc Raiders, because
Yep.
as someone who was never a fan of extraction shooters, I did not like them. I strayed away from Arc purely under the precedence that great, there's nothing to it other than, shoot people and run away. But
Yep.
then I came into the fact that it also has a very Rust like vibe to it. You're looting a lot. So for me, personally, when I think of 2025, it's Clair Obscure. But what have I been playing from this year?
Hmm.
Has been a lot of Arc Raiders.
That's good. We're almost there.
Obviously, you could say Battlefield 6, you could say Call of Duty, Black Ops 7. I haven't played a COD game since 3, 4, maybe.
I gave up. This
They
is my
got
second
worse.
COD in a row I skipped, and
Yeah,
I don't think I'm going back anytime soon, to be honest with you.
I don't have any desire. Battlefield, I haven't specifically played, but that might have been par for the fact that my computer claims secure boot is not enabled, but it is. Uh, so Battlefield refuses to run. But I think my shooter era, it's kind of fallen off. Like a lot of the realistic war shooters, yeah, I get it. That's what they're meant to be. They're,
Hmm.
Battlefield's way more realistic than Call of Duty ever will be. Battlefield has those differences in recoil and aim, stuff like that. But
They did get best sound design, did they not, in the awards? So
they
that's
did.
one thing they had going for them.
I think the thing is, I've never had a Battlefield game that I've played that I haven't been unhappy with. Like sound wise, just crisp. It's great, but I think my shooter era has transferred over to a lot of battle royales. I
Yeah.
played a ton of Fortnite. I've just recently, about 4 months ago, got into Warzone. I know I don't
Okay.
like Call of Duty as a whole, but Warzone, I don't know, it
It's
just
different.
hits
I
different.
can justify that. Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure. I
and
had like my battle royale like obsession
mhm.
where like obviously original Warzone, I was a frequent flyer at Rebirth Island for a while
Mhm.
too, when you want the faster paced games when
Yeah.
Verdansk closed down for a while, then got into Apex and I sort of leaned on that one most heavily, but then I got into Farlight, then I started just
Mhm.
typing in battle royale and trying to play every single damn one on Steam that I could find.
Just
Like
going for
little
it.
super animal royale, you're playing with like little animals with guns, like just anything that said battle royale in the title I
Yeah.
gave a shot. This year I know Splitgate released a battle royale. Remember how
Yes.
Splitgate came out and it was kind of like an arena shooter, sort of like a spin on Halo meets Portal. It was cool, but then they dumped it, which was upsetting. It was kind of fun, and then they came back with Splitgate 2, introduced a BR, played that. It was actually fairly good, not gonna lie.
Yeah, it wasn't
Yeah,
bad.
it was not bad. I just don't think it's still a thing, or it's just it lost the hype really quick.
Yeah.
But Yeah. When I think of 2025, I think of, I didn't play a whole lot of new games this year. I sort of continued playing games that I did play, in previous years. So I play a lot of Gwent, the card game. I play a lot of Apex, still playing that this year. As far as like new games that I gave a shot, random, considering my resume of gaming, I played one called Planet Crafter that I liked quite a bit.
I
Yeah.
have a buddy of mine hooked on that. It looks incredible. It looks
Yeah, and they just
absolutely
released some kind
incredible.
of update recently. It was like a toxicity update, so I guess like the land is kind of taken over by toxic sludge and stuff like that. There's
Okay.
some different element they just added that I got an update on a couple days ago, but I might have to revisit that. So Planet Crafter was one of those ones for me that I was kind of just going hard at for a bit, and Dying Light: The Beast was something I played
Mm,
more towards the fall this year, and
yes.
I enjoyed it. I find unless they do something drastically different for the next installment, I think I'm going to lose interest if there is a next installment. But it just felt like the Dying Light 2 and Dying Light: The Beast had very, very similar mechanics. Graphics are obviously improving as the years go on, but that's not the only thing that matters to me. So, yeah. But yeah, obviously covering the Game Awards, Claire Obscura with the sweep is definitely going to
Mm.
stand out quite a bit. Hollow Knight Silk Song was really cool to see the release of that and watch
Oh,
gameplay of that.
so
Didn't play
good.
it myself because I suck, but
Me too.
it was one of those games that I think had a lot of anticipation, a lot of hype around it,
Hmm.
and I was really excited about that release. So that's kind of me for 2025. But yeah, overall, pretty good year of gaming. I feel like a lot of RPG games were sort of front loaded in the beginning of the year. And then towards the end of the year, we got more into like the multiplayer experiences and,
Yeah.
the shooter games. So that's
Yeah.
kind of the way that it's flowed this year, which is more than fine. It's just weird to kind of have, that split where it's just like
Hmm.
half and half almost exactly. So.
Yeah, the front half for me was, and it is still to this moment. My community hates it. Come on, we need a pop.
I know I'm feeling
I want
nervous
a
here.
triple
We're down
pop.
445 here. I'm just gonna keep spinning. A couple more. I think we're gonna do like five. I say we're gonna do five more, but then watch, right?
Right, you're gonna get that little catchback to keep you in. But no, like you were saying, the split this year, the first half of this year was older, older but current relevant RPGs in my eyes. Like Path of Exile 1 has been getting consistent updates. The company behind it, Grinding Gear Games, has not backed down on. Come on, has not backed down on 1. Even with the launch of early access of 2 last year in July, I think there's a lot of push on that front. They obviously were
Mhm.
at the Game Awards. They made a little teaser release. I believe it was during a commercial, but they had got their spot in there where they had released a new class at the Game Awards that were not in the patch notes for this season, which I thought was really cool.
You gotta
Um,
love that.
I
Just like
it
a
was
little sprinkle for the community, right?
literally like I watched the commercial and it was just like, yo, hey Exile, so we wanted to release something that didn't make it into the actual patch notes. And I'm like, but it made it into the Game Awards commercial. So like, was this bigger? Like,
Yeah.
so they released a new class, and that's been like the last half of 2025 for me. Since like early October, I have been streaming nothing but that game. I'm still gonna do that later today, just against all odds. But I think the RPG scene is really good. Diablo 4 just released the Paladin. I have not played yet, but apparently he is busted, which is typical for Diablo.
I had a good
Busted
time
character.
with number three. I just I
Oh,
haven't made my rounds to number
oof.
four yet. Um, might have missed the mark to find friends who haven't played it yet, but
I mean, I've barely played. I played it. So I played a lot of 3. Come on, I played a lot of 3. I'm not gonna lie, like thousands of hours in that game, and it is good. But the thing with 4 that threw me away um, was the slow pace. I have ADHD.
you
I
want it
don't like the
fast, you want it
grind. I
now, give
don't
me the
like.
dopamine hits. Yeah.
Yes, and that was why I played a lot of Path of Exile 1, because 1 was fast paced and 2 has
Mhm.
that almost Diablo 4 feeling. But they've made a lot of changes to Diablo 4. I popped back in a couple months ago. It felt better. It felt faster. It's still grindy as all hell, but let's be real. That's Blizzard. They won't change that. So like, RPGs this year have been good. Existing RPGs. I know there's been some new releases, but it's tough to look at a new RPG with the age I am. Like I started on Diablo 1 and then played all the way through. It's hard to replicate pop tease. It's hard to replicate the feeling I get playing the older ones.
No, I
But
feel that. Do you think it's a matter of when you played them and sort of the feeling that you had back then when you played them, or it's like chasing the next best thing, or do you think that it was heightened by like the age, exposure to that type of games in the past maybe wasn't there, then you saw this big thing, and now I just find we've seen so many games, we've played so many games, it takes a lot to make an exceptional game. We
right,
become game snobs.
we do.
Yeah, I just paused it by the way. We're gonna come back to that in a bit. I saw the loss of 500, and I just said, okay, I need a few minutes from that. But
I need to
I left it up.
breathe.
I left it up because I know the features coming. It's just a matter of when I feel like getting back to it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. No. It's been interesting to say the least in terms of like what you're saying. It's a mix of both.
mhm.
It's genuinely a mix of both. Like it being, 10, 11 years old playing Diablo for the first time and then just following it through to even today in like Diablo 4. It's hard to find anything that replicates that feeling for me. And I was 12 and a half years late to Path of Exile.
Right.
I didn't realize that game existed the same time. I actually, funny enough, saw some videos of its early release 14 years ago, and I'm like, this is Diablo. Like
Totally.
one for one, it was Diablo, literally. And they got their inspiration from a mod that was done for Diablo 1.
Okay.
And they brought the game, to a support, like a studio, and Grinding Gear Games was formed, and then Path of Exile came out, and I was late, and I hate that I was late because I played Diablo from launch, and then I find out that there was this game that has now taken like 5,000 hours of my life, um, 14 years ago that I could have played and grew with it because I know from playing it now I would have loved it. I missed seasons and leagues and features, and now they're all in the game, but it's like I wish I could go back and like live through some of these cool features because there's items I've missed with legacy stats or different items that don't exist, and you kind of like make
You
it my
hear about
goal to
it, but you don't
play, and
get
I'm
to.
like,
Yeah.
so now I've been playing the game relentlessly. It's unhealthy how many hours I have on that game since October.
You could justify it as I'm streaming, I'm working.
I am, but good
Yeah.
lord.
Yeah, it's all a day's work, man.
Oh, it
Um,
is.
I definitely feel that with some games. Like, for example, Apex, I came in at season 9 or something like that. Now
Mhm.
we're on season 27, and people
Yeah.
always talk about the good old days, the original Kings Canyon, things like that.
Hmm.
Now, I get it. It's the FOMO, right? You want to kind of have those experiences. Now, thinking about that, they do some kind of throwback updates here and there where they'll do like, we're bringing back the original map for this season, or we're bringing back this weapon that used to use this ammo and used to be overpowered for this
Hmm.
season.
Yep.
So does PoE do stuff like that, or is it just like you lose, you lose? It's too late.
So I haven't experienced much of it, but I've only been playing for like 2.5 years, so that's like only like 3, 4 seasons because the seasons are usually
Those are long
three to
ass
four
seasons.
months.
Yeah,
They're usually
yeah.
3 to 4 months each. But the most recent one, the one before this, was literally a year because they were releasing PoE 2. So it was a year of the most garbage season. I hated it. But what they tend to do is they throw like micro events in between. So they threw like a month-long event of like a whole game rework, basically. They crushed all the current classes and ascendancies and reworked them for like a month. I mean, the amount of money and time they spent on that needs to come out as a core feature. We're all begging for it. But they like changed it from, instead of going, your typical ranger into like a pathfinder, you were into this something thing called a wild speaker, and it changed all of the ascendancies. So in
Mhm.
terms of throwbacks, I haven't seen much in throwbacks. They're more inclined to like either give us micro events or do what they did with this league, which was a complete rework on a mechanic that released 9 years ago. Like they
Yeah.
rewrote it from the ground up. There was still the original version of the mechanic in the game, but even that was reworked, and then they added in like a second, we call it Breach 2.0 for the game, and that's the whole season based around like a new league mechanic, a new way to get items. I mean, when you're playing something like, I don't know if you've played WoW in the past, but you
No,
have your
but I've watched people play, Yeah,
So, you know, you have your like
they would
chase
always tell me
items.
not to ever start, and I took their word for
Agreed.
it.
Agreed. Don't.
It is
Don't.
a void that will suck you in, and
And drain your wallet.
yeah,
Because pay to play is tough, but like think of WoW or Diablo where you have like chase uniques. There's these items you have to have, and a lot of them are build enabling for every build style in the game. Well, because of this league, I was able on the 5th day of the league, like November 3rd, like a day before my birthday,
hmm
I was able to use the league mechanic to grow. They call them womb gifts, so you're growing
right.
items. And I grew like a 280 divine item, like the one of the best items in the game on the 5th day of the league. And I'm just like, okay, see, this is what I like, those dopamine hits. Like I'm an
Yep.
RPG player. You know, I called it too. It's actually I clipped it. I still haven't posted it yet. But I was like, oh, it's gonna be a mage blood, jokingly. And it was a mage blood. It was 2:30 in the morning, and I'm like, I can't scream. I'm gonna wake up everybody in the house. I'm gonna get beat live on stream. So I was like just, you know, mouth covered, like mouthing these scream words. It's the dopamine hit. So like, yeah,
That's
they
called
don't do like
streamer luck.
throwbacks. No, uh that's called my only luck for my life. I haven't seen anything yet since then. Since that point, I don't have the streamer client we all joke about as PoE players. We're like, wait, I want the streamer client, but
You know what it is, guys? For those who don't stream, it's basically like you'll say that the next one's going to be the big hit 100 times, and then it happens, and that's the one that gets clipped.
that's the one. Yeah. Oh, I said mage blood like 50 times that night
Yeah,
before it. And I'm like, oh, it's gonna be a mage blood, and then it hit, and I was like, oh, now what?
yeah,
But no, I do like the concept you were mentioning with Apex. I play a lot of Fortnite, and Fortnite has a tendency to do the same thing where they'll throw back, you know, the OG map, or they'll drop
yeah.
in like the swords for no reason. Like this season they did it, or last season, whatever it was. They brought back the swords from like a year ago, and those were my thing. I
See,
absolutely body.
I can appreciate zero build.
Yes, 100%. I don't
I
build.
just wish they had first person mode. I'm probably
I'm
preaching to the choir right
I'm
now.
not gonna get started on that.
Yeah,
I'm sure that's something you've brought up a million times. I beg for it.
not here, surprisingly, but
Oh,
that's a big deal for me. Is I don't like
yeah.
when they're third person as
No,
much.
I
Like
don't
if
either.
I'm playing a battle royale, I want it to be first person. But you know, I'm just kind of thinking about in general gaming this year. I felt like for the most part, I did have a bit of gaming fatigue. It was a
Mhm.
matter of like not wanting to necessarily try too many new games because it was overwhelming the selection that I had of games in the backlog, games that were dropping, you know, rapidly, and then just kind of trying to figure out, okay, like you know, Canadian game prices right now are ridiculous. If I'm spending 89 to 114.99 for one game that's a AAA, it better damn be good. And a
Yeah.
lot of times what would happen is I would say, and I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate to me on this one here, let my friends buy it and tell me the truth. And so then my friends would buy it, and then, you know, they'd either have an amazing time, and then when I would go to buy it, I would check in to see if they were still playing it, and they weren't. Or they would hate it immediately and just refund it and say, don't waste your time. A lot of times they would just pop a screen up for me and kind of just show me as they just bought it, they just installed it. And
Yeah.
sometimes, like, we wouldn't even be sitting more than 30 minutes before they would uninstall, right? So that's kind of
Yeah.
where I'm at. I had a friend that, again, Borderlands 4 was one that I was looking forward to for a very long time. You're talking about ADHD. It doesn't get much better than that. Looter shooter times 10 on crack. Yep.
And I
Yeah.
played it for a week.
That's what I'm
I
trying to
haven't
say.
touched it. It was great. Like, don't get me wrong. Borderlands, when I heard it, I was like, oh God, I want this really bad. And I was like, look, I'm going to behave. I'm going to wait a little bit, you know, be an adult. Don't spend money frivolously. Somebody gifted it to me. I was like, all right, cool, fine, whatever. Played the crap out of it for a week. Stopped playing it. It is so poorly optimized. Like, you need a $10,000 rig, as Randy said. You know,
Well,
go buy a NASA PC. I'm on that way, but
yeah, when you build your NASA PC, maybe it's time to give it another shot. But
I
hey,
want to.
yeah, I don't know. Like lately, I just feel like I built this PC in 2022 and a half, like
Yeah,
2023-ish.
yeah.
And I feel like it's already aging.
Oh,
Which is
it's so
insane. I
bad.
spent 3,200. I curated the perfect little list of parts to go together, and I
Yeah,
was really happy about that shit. But anyways, it just feels like it's aging. So I can just imagine for some people that, you know, have less a rig or don't do the whole
yeah.
streaming thing and, you
Oh,
know, just
it's
have some kind of entry level. I feel like they're building games for the wrong audience here. You know what I
what it
mean?
is.
Yeah.
Seriously, like parts, you know, prices aside, the changes are so aggressive. Like, you go from 2 years ago, 3 years ago, when like an Intel chip and an AMD chip, it was Intel that was superior, and
Hmm.
now you've got this where like AMD and Intel are just kind of like depending on the day, and then you look at graphics cards, and Nvidia reigned king, like Nvidia reigned king for 20 years, and now you look at like a 9070 XT from AMD and you put that against a 5070 Ti and from Nvidia, and like it's negligible. So you're like, do I spend the extra $400 because it's Nvidia, or do I go take, my first risk with an AMD card? I'm running an AMD card in my
That's what I
rig right
did.
now.
That's what I did. Yeah.
I'm not unhappy. It works great.
I think I had a
But
6750 XT, which was pretty
yeah.
good at the time. It was equivalent to like a 3070, when that was the thing. And then since then, it's like huge jumps in the
Oh,
industry, right? I could
oh,
still run games, I could still play games, but there are some times where I'm like, damn, maybe I cannot run that at ultra anymore.
yeah. Well, that
You know?
was it's scary. It is,
Yeah.
because you said a 6750. When I built my PC in 2020, it was Radeon Sapphire Nitro 6700, 5700, sorry, XT,
Hmm.
and it was the 8 GB era where everyone was like damn it. Position
That's
two.
big.
I forgot to turn the gestures off.
That's awesome.
There's your funny moment. But no, it was 8 GB, 8 GB of VRAM. We were like, yo, that's massive. Nobody needs anything more than that. Fast forward to 5 years later, and I've watched games struggle on my 8 GB graphics card, and I'm like, what? So now it's like, I'm going with a 16 gig card to
Hmm.
hopefully future proof until they do something like, now you need 12 gigs of VRAM, and I'm uh, like Minecraft, for example. I've watched people 5090s eventually, after enough shader packs, bring that game to 5 FPS, which is terrifying to think of because Minecraft is
That
more
must be
CPU.
upscaled to shit.
Oh, yeah, 16K with with shader packs.
Yeah,
Like, it
that's
was
gotta look
obviously you're
insane.
not gonna play like this, but like,
No, but
you
this is
know,
what it's capable of.
it's
Yeah, yeah.
those jumps, like you said, it's those boundless jumps. You go from an 8 gig card being the meta to 16 gigs over here. With some of the cards now, like the high end, like 5090s get up to what, 24 gigs of VRAM or something, and then
Hmm.
the professional levels are like 48 gigs, and I'm like, go back to a simpler time where you could buy
Yeah.
a top end CPU for $120.
I just wish when it like I wish it was just about the actual games, the stories they told, the mechanics, and less
Mm,
about the measuring contest that's been going on over the last few years. You've just got like again, I can rant all day about the graphic wars. I don't care
but
about
yeah,
them anymore.
no,
We've got almost to the peak of what, should be the max. You know
yeah.
what I mean? It doesn't have to be real life. We play games outside of real life.
I don't want to
That's where I'm
live.
at.
I don't want to live where I am
Yeah,
in my game. Like,
exactly.
no,
Please.
I
No, it's
escape the real world. Come on, we don't do this because we want to live real life simulator 2.0.
exactly. Like if it was all like that, I would just stop gaming at this
Right, I might
point.
as well be a VR streamer.
Yeah, 100%. It's true.
Jesus.
It's true.
If I
Might
want to
as well
do
just
real life, just
yeah, I'll just do
slap them
IRL.
on.
Slap a little GoPro on my head. That's it.
Right. Like I've done that. I've done IRLs. Like
Mhm.
it's nice to come home, escape, lock into your game world, whether it's Apex, Rust, whether you're playing The Sims or you're locking into some retro games. Like I love sitting down and just bringing up Pokemon for no reason. I
Yep.
don't want Pokemon in 2029 to be Pikachu looks like a human cat. I'm like, no, no, stop. I can't break
Yeah,
it. Like
you'll
I
get
play games on low graphics, not because I need to,
just
because
picture
I
how
want the
freaking weird that
FPS.
would be too. The graphics on a Pikachu is so strong that you see every individual hair.
Literally looks like it's fur. I've seen,
Yeah.
like, you've seen the little like images of people memeing it. Do not ever make that a reality. Do not make a Pikachu look like a cat.
Yeah,
We
if
need to
it's
stop.
memed, it doesn't mean we actually want it.
The graphic wars need to go away. Like, I mean, you as an Apex player, I'm sure you're well aware of a lot of Apex players play the game lower. They don't
They
play it
do.
on
They do.
ultra. You're
And
playing it for the performance. The game looks
honestly,
good, but
the game looks good for 2016 engine when they made Titanfall 2. It's like the same graphics at that. And
right.
then Apex came out, I believe, what, 2019, give or take. And you know what? It lives up to it still. Like it's still playable. It still
Yeah.
looks great. Like what I like about that game is just the pop it has, like the
Yeah.
vibrance.
What's
It's
so
not
pretty.
trying too hard. You know what I mean? Textures are not insane. They're just doable. The game
Yeah.
runs very well. You can
Yeah.
turn it down to have the game run even better, but it's not like trying to have realistic bushes that you can hide in. And like, I feel like games are just going too hard with that, man.
Yeah,
So that's kind of where I'm at. But it
definitely.
seems like, the older games that did not come out recently, we're loving, we're still playing. Some of the
Hmm.
newer games, they just have a little bit less of a lifespan for us, given that they're just trying too hard,
Yeah, I
you
agree
know?
fully.
And even the biggest hits of the year, like a lot of the biggest hits of the year, Claire Obscure, things like that, they're not games that you can continuously grind for the next 10 years probably. Like it's you play it through a couple times, you kind of see everything it has to offer and you move on, right? So I would like to see in 2026 more games that have a bigger lifespan, as far as like, the community can continue playing this game, experiencing new things for years to come,
Hmm.
right?
I agree. Replayability is not a 2025 word. There's not a lot. Like, I throw it back to a game that came out during a time where I don't want to say it because they might come after me.
Let's hear
Where
it.
a certain game company didn't like someone else making a game. Cough, Nintendo.
Yeah, Power
Throw
World.
it back to Pal World. They just
Yeah.
dropped the Home Sweet Home update like literally 3 days ago. I haven't booted it up yet, but I've
They
watched
won
some
the suit.
videos. Did they win the suit?
Yeah,
I didn't even hear about how quiet
they
was
won the
that.
suit.
That
This
was
is about a month and a half ago. They won
oh
the
my god.
suit. So now it's like, welcome home, home sweet home. Look at that.
Honestly,
We
honestly,
win.
that's a meme because I genuinely I saw the resemblance, right? Okay. But like I didn't see the resemblance because none of the moves really felt like Pokemon. They were their own thing. They had their own flair to them. The game was a building game. Name me a Pokemon game where you run around and farm and breed. You don't.
It was more about the
It was the
creature
balls.
collector
Yeah, it was
mechanic.
the spheres that they so
Yeah, and
thought were
honestly,
Pokeballs and it wasn't.
I feel like they're not the first person. Well, maybe they are, but
Maybe.
it's
They're the first to win, that's for sure. Most people don't win against Nintendo, but like you said, replayability.
yeah.
Power World has thrown out Terraria update. That was their
I saw
first
that. There you go again.
episode's just gonna be me fixing my camera.
The edited team can do that.
Great, good, because they're gonna hate me. Terraria, their first ever thing, and now the Home Sweet Home update has an Ultra Kill collaboration.
But okay.
I don't know what
Ultra Kill is
is.
like I think it's like a roguelike shooter. Is it
Oh,
not?
okay. I
Yeah,
think
like
that one I
really
wasn't
fast,
sure.
like boomer shooter roguelike.
Okay, then there you go. That's the replayability. I could have played Pal World a year ago, 2 years ago when it came out. I was enthralled. But now I can go back to it knowing that, there's a whole new building mechanic, which, oh my goodness, I've seen the videos. No Game of the Year worthy in Game of the Year's eyes, but Pal World's coming up and they're doing things now with this win. I'm excited to see what they're going to do with this game because they've got Nintendo off their back. They can breathe, they can beat them. So
Yeah.
like
2024
replayability
was a massive year for Pal World, obviously coming into the scene, breaking records.
Mm.
It was insane.
Was it 20 million players within the first couple of
Like,
days, like week or
yeah,
something? It was
this
absurd.
was honestly
Absurd.
like the Twitch category was massive. It was almost too good to be
Oh
true.
my God,
And
yeah.
I was surprised because I was telling people a few months before, I'm like, look at this game. It's like you have like little like Pokemons that like you could put to work on your farm, and like
Yeah.
they have guns.
That was the big part.
And then
The
everybody's like,
guns.
this is so stupid, dude. And then obviously just boom, it skyrocketed.
It came out and everyone was like, "Oh, this is not stupid," and they've kept that.
Yeah.
They haven't gotten rid of the gun feeling. It's not a Pokemon game. Nintendo would never put guns on their Pokemon. It's different, but it goes back to your replayability. Same thing with like a lot of RPGs. Even Diablo 3. We talked about Diablo 3 briefly. They're recycling seasons, but they're making changes still. They're adding things in to bring back some players who might have missed season 6.
And this
now
is Diablo
season
3.
right, like this is the
This
thing.
is like 2 console generations almost.
This is
after.
2015.
Yeah, PS3
Still having still having updates. Again, they're not new updates, but they're kind of doing an Apex vibe.
Yep.
They
Something
brought
is better
back
than
things
nothing.
that you don't have. Like maybe you weren't playing Diablo when you were 12 years old because you were too into, I don't know, Pokemon or Animal Crossing.
Yeah, exactly. Like
now you
things
have
has
that
changed,
ability.
You want to be able to come into it, and
Right.
what better way to invite people in
Right, like if
right?
Blizzard can do it, and let me tell you, with all respect, I could bash Blizzard for
Yeah.
hours. I
If
won't.
they
I
can
could
be
bash them.
generous, just a little sprinkle of
Why
generosity.
can't other games? Like, do
Yeah.
not fault me on Claire Obscure. You know, shout out to the developers for releasing their DLC free live at the Game Awards. I respect it. You know, W. But how long is that going to happen? For the last few years, have we really seen games really push the replayability? We haven't. Not a lot, you know.
Hmm.
So shout out to the games that are. Pal World's still doing it. Diablo's still throwing stuff out. You know, I want 2026 to be a year of a game that I can pick up in 2025, 2031. You know, 5 years later, I'm like, yo, let me boot this up, and whoa, I can do it
If
a whole different way.
Yeah, I mean, if GTA does make its
Uh,
drop in 2026,
Forgot
that'll be
about
one that
that.
people are going to be playing for years and
For,
years to come. That You know what they'll do though, because this one was gassed up more than any other GTA in the entire franchise history.
yeah.
They're going to try to ride this thing for like 15 years. I can
Oh,
guarantee
100%.
you.
100%.
Guarantee. 5 was over 10, was it not? Like
5 was over 10,
2013, it
and
was
they.
like 12 years. So I give this one 15 years of just milking.
100%.
100%. They'll do updates for sure. There'll be a lot on the live
We're not going to
environment
get
and
a
everything like
GTA
that.
after 6 for probably 2 decades.
Yeah,
Guaranteed.
you
Because
heard it
what?
here
Like,
first.
I'm calling it.
Yeah,
At me in 20 years.
yeah.
At me in 20 years when it's 2045 and I'm, you know, in my 50s and GTA 7 drops. I'm just saying, like,
Hmm.
look at GTA 5 still updates. Updates. They're still adding in new content, new cars, new missions, new side things. Like they haven't backed down. They have now. They're starting to slow it down. But like for the last like 10 years, we were getting new updates on a regular. So
You know what though? As like I am bashing it at the same time that I'm praising it
yeah,
because obviously we buy less games now.
we
And
do.
if yeah, and if a
True.
game can last you 10, 15 years, you're still getting joy out of it. That's like dollars and dollars and dollars and
Oh my god.
time like saved trying to sift through and play the beginning of games that you just ultimately don't like, and you
Right.
know what I mean? So
And I
yeah,
mean,
like bring it on. If it's going to be that good that you don't have to make another one for 15 years, I'm for it.
oh, 100%. I
But
think, you know,
it's just kind of funny that we do
it's
have to wait
scary
for
to think
decades.
about it too cuz
Yeah.
look at Rockstar's acquisition of 5M.
We're gonna give this another try, by the way, on Wacky. We're
Come on, we
close.
got this. But you know, give 5M, you know, for the GTA players in the chat in the community who are, you know, peeping this. Can't tell me you've never played GTA RP. You know, it was a thing. It was a way for outside developers to bring more content to GTA, and then Rockstar bought it.
I think I
Now,
lost my
oh
my
no.
save. Let me back in.
Let me
it
in,
better
open the
it better
door.
it better be full.
Oh, I swear.
Yeah, I
Just
know.
instant
Okay,
okay.
okay.
Okay. But yeah, like 5M. You know, 5M was big for those who didn't want to play the same cheat infested online over and over again. So you had that ability to kind of branch out and make it stunts or RP or you know, I played some RP servers myself. It was cool. You know, you go into this game and you're running a sushi store or you know, you're buying vehicles from an actual like human vendor. Like it was
Hmm.
cool and Rockstar saw that. Rockstar saw that and bought it. And I'm sure they took away all the cool high-end branded cars because you know copyright and stuff,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
my point is they bought it and they're endorsing it. They never bought it just to ruin 5M as a server. It's still endorsed, people still play it like religiously. So if Rockstar wants to do that, you know, same mindset of where we get 13 years before somebody has to force RP into our mind, then yeah, you know, go for it. Like that's something I'm excited for. But again, it is terrifying to think that people are trying to make games that are going to last us half a decade, if not more, without bringing out the next one.
Yeah, and speaking of games that have a lot of replayability, I find a lot of those mundane, sort of low-paced games with repetitive tasks that are sort of just a relax and chill kind of vibe
Mm-hmm.
tend to have a lot of replayability. People still playing Stardew,
Oh,
all the community mods, things like that in 2025. You talked about running a sushi restaurant. I thought of Dave the Diver. Have you played that
my
one?
God, yes.
Little pixel game. I just bought a
That's
Steam Deck, and that one keeps coming up in the recommendeds. But I did play it on the Switch a while ago, so I'm thinking about picking it up because I sold the Switch when I got the Steam Deck. I'm like, I'm not gonna have both, so
I
sold the
still have
original
my
Switch.
Switch, but
Uh,
I agree with you. I have an ROG Ally
oh,
X,
yeah, yeah.
not the Xbox version because hot take,
I like when
that
the
was
sticks are beside each
garbage.
other. It does.
Yeah,
Does yours have the sticks like one's up a little higher than the other, or is it side by side? because that was one of
Just
the
looking
reasons
over to
why.
see if I could see it, and I can't
Yeah, I
find
bought
it.
the
But
Steam Deck for that reason specific. Like, one of the big reasons was because the sticks were on the same
yeah,
plane.
my sticks are on the
And
same plane.
yeah, because like I have two dual sense controllers, but I like Dual Shock 4s better. And
I agree with
I
that.
have I have GameSir controllers, I have Xbox
Oh my
controllers, I
god,
have
right?
like over the years I have 5 or 6 controllers. I rock this
Yeah.
one, this red DS4.
Yep.
That's all I need, man.
No, I could talk to you about controllers. Controllers and keyboards are my biggest weakness. I buy
I
like
play
looking through.
I play half claw.
Okay,
I
you know,
do. Yeah,
games
yeah.
or Xbox controller. I've got
I
old
have
school stuff.
I,
It's fun.
I had a gig with GameSir for a bit, so I have a couple freebies.
Nice. You know what? I'm not gonna lie. I would buy them full price, but I am a very avid Amazon bin store enthusiast. They're like
Oh, I heard about those. You can get some pretty nice tech in those bins, eh? I
this
never
was
actually
this was
went to one,
five
but my sister's
dollars.
always talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
the 8-bit do Xbox controller, Xbox style, but like
Those-
I love the GameSir products. I had their mobile phone controller before I got a hold of an ROG.
That's one that I wanted to get my hands on. Just in general, that type of product was a mobile phone controller.
They're
My interest in
incredible.
that dropped a lot since I got the Steam Deck because I was trying to see if I could sort of shortcut it a little bit. So,
Yep.
I was
Oh,
thinking about going
100%.
that route instead. But honestly, man, just Steam Deck's been great. Dave the Diver's a really good, like, chill one. You could run a sushi restaurant. You go dive in, bring stuff back, set up the restaurant. Then you do sort of like that management activity. You know what I mean?
Pop for us. Yeah, and I
Yeah.
think you mentioned my favorite game of literally the last decade.
Stardew?
Actually, that's a lie. It is about a decade. Oh my god, it's been 10 years this year since he released that game. And I have gotten a lot of playtime in Stardew. You mentioned the replayability of like the chill games. The the amount of times, and I'll stream it when I'm just
Mhm.
really not having a come on, when I'm really not having like a hype up day. I'll boot up Stardew and I'll sit there for hours with again, you mentioned the community mods. My current playthrough is like 987 mods. Um
Holy.
like
It's funny.
egregious, and it's so fun because it keeps the core, but then it just changes everything else. You have your little farming romance simulator. I grew up on Harvest Moon. I grew up on
Yeah,
Animal Crossing.
yeah.
So
Harvest
when
Moon, Story of Seasons, like
seasons
that.
right,
Yeah,
when
yeah.
when Eric Barone, I respect the man. I know he goes by Concerned Ape, but it's such a respect factor. When he decided to do what he did, that was a game changer, like a literal game changer. It made my days so much better because you can play it on the PC, then you can play it on the Switch, then you can pop it on your phone. The fact that he got a ton of money out of me.
I actually own it on mobile.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
I bought it this year when I was on a trip. I have it on Switch. I have it on Steam.
So
I bought that game 3 times. So
I
again,
did too.
I can rant about that all day as well. Charge a fair price. The same person will buy your game 3 times.
I bought it physically.
I can't see that because your green screen.
I bought it physically.
Oh, right on. Yeah, I got you.
Sticker got stuck, but I bought it physically for one reason only.
Just
I was
to
at
have
an
it
Amazon
physically.
bin store,
Oh,
and it was $12.
holy.
And I wanted to buy it physically, like to support Eric specifically,
Yeah.
but I'm not paying $70 for a fucking Switch game.
They do that though. A game that doesn't cost that much if you buy the digital copy will charge an arm and leg
but-
for the physical because you gotta
Right,
maybe
and it's
a limited run or something like that. Or
right. And I think it's just it's the aesthetic touch. Like, you
Mhm.
see a lot of game manuals that come with it. They look like a game manual. But I'm sorry. There is something about the beauty of the Stardew game manual being less of a manual and more of like literally a mini game guide to
Hell
the
yeah.
like the map, the
that is pretty, man.
damn the game screen, green screen, but like
But
the
that's one of the
mapping
things I
in here.
miss about buying
Oh,
physical games the most is that
I know.
sometimes there's not even an insert in the inside. What they'll do these
No.
days is they'll make like one cover that they'll
Yeah.
go that from the front that extends to the back, and you might have a
Yeah.
picture that you could see through that, clear inside of the box. But there's never like an insert. They don't put anything crazy in there anymore.
Right.
Uh,
And that's why I like the
Again,
Stardew
something
one
else I could
because
rant on all day.
you get the physical, but like the attention to The attention to detail, even in the game case here. You know, you
We got the
see.
feature.
Yeah. Okay.
Holy
Hold
shit.
on. Hold
This
on.
took-
Now we.
we're
Now we.
actually going broke too.
All right. So big win. We need about $900. Please
That's
and thank
pretty
you.
much it.
Come on. All right. Oh, so this is like a collectum, revive when you get a hit. Okay, well, big hits. I saw 50 in there. Come on.
There's a bunch of 5s.
I will take the 5s. That's like a double, bud. Sorry.
Yeah.
That'll happen a lot. Being oh, a collector. Oh,
Nice,
okay.
nice.
Okay. Hold on a second. Do that again.
Mm-hmm.
Don't die. Do not die. We're not dying this early. I say that. Come on. One. Anything. Damn.
What the hell?
Okay. I mean, it's nice, but it's not game saving.
It's definitely not game saving, but it's enough to get me out of Panda for the day.
Yeah, big on.
I had to stay until I got some of it back. We didn't even break even on this time around,
No.
but it is what it is.
We got to see a feature, but that collector could have been... See, my wondering is if you had a hit, did it collect again?
I was just hoping we get an extra life in there. We keep filling it up and everything, but...
well, I mean, we're only 550 down.
I'll do a few more here.
You gotta run it back a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit, because I see they're close.
You can't degen it completely, but who says the jackpot doesn't pop? And
that's what I'm saying.
Then we're back up.
I talked about giving up here, but easier said than done. Speaking of giving up, which franchises this year do you think should just give up? I'm thinking Call of Duty is another letdown of the year. Black Ops 7 did not really do it for me. I was thinking about getting maybe back into it if the first week or so was looking positive. And honestly, man, it felt like just a bunch of recycled, regurgitated stuff from the last one. Nothing got better. And honestly, I think the mechanics with Call of Duty altogether, that franchise went downhill since they decided to release Modern Warfare 2 in 2022. And then they took away from the original Warzone mechanics and made them clunkier. Remember the slide canceling that we used to do, and it was just the finesse and the movement is what made it so damn good.
Mid-fight, you hit the slide, you cancel, and they're
going
dead.
into like a dolphin dive, clunk, clunk, clunk. Like, what is this that they reverted to, man? We're going backwards with the franchise. So, that was kind of a turning point for me, and, it didn't look like it got any better with Black Ops 7.
It did not.
Recycled maps, too.
Yeah.
And just recycled guns. The camos didn't scream anything crazy. I haven't seen one short flexing the camos.
No.
Usually it's like you get something like, oh, this is the Damascus or this is the Atomic, and you're like, damn, that's pretty nice. I've seen zero YouTube or shorts about that. So obviously they're nothing to write home about. So
no, I think.
Again, upset of the year for me, at least. I was looking forward to maybe a second chance at that. Again, Warzone, I'll still play Warzone if the buddies are trying to run it back, but that's just because I like BRs, not because I like Call of Duty.
No, I agree fully. Call of Duty needs to stop. Like, they need to stop. Another hot take, and I'm not apologetic in saying this. Take Two, stop making Borderlands if you're gonna ruin the damn game.
Yeah,
I was devastated. Because Borderlands 2.
Pinnacle, right?
Chef's kiss.
Pinnacle.
Peak.
Yeah.
Borderlands 3 had some gripes, but overall, I wasn't mad.
But from a mechanic standpoint, 3 was really good. It was smooth as fuck.
From a mechanic standpoint,
it was butter. Story was kind of dry, but it was butter.
The game was incredible. I think it's gonna piss off a lot of people, but I'm open with my opinion. Either fire Randy or stop making Borderlands, because performance-wise, like you said, 3, oh my god, ultra settings, max that bitch out, give it. I gave that thing so much love on my PC at full settings, and it looked stunning.
Something to take into consideration, guys, if you haven't played Borderlands, it's a game that is known for having explosions, bullet sprays, things all over the damn place at the same time. So to be able to have that so smooth in 2 and 3, like 2 was good, 3 was just amazing for that.
Yeah.
Just write a better story, man. Put better side quests. Stop giving me fetch quests.
I did like Borderlands 4's main story, truthfully. It was good. It led you to some pretty messed up things. But the problem really comes back to, like you said, Borderlands is explosions, big fights.
There we go.
Okay, what do we 75? We take that.
I thought I
pop
bonused at the top.
Just pop for us. We're doing all right. but that's what we're used to. When we play Borderlands, we're not playing it for okay, yeah, the stories are usually pretty good. Three's story was dry as ugh.
Yeah,
But
four.
two's
The
was
problem with four
incredible.
was literally just the
Did we get it?
optimization. It looks like we did. It's funny because that one was empty and we got that first.
How did you feel that? You know, it's funny. It's funny.
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk about this for a quick second because it makes me chuckle. The progress means literally nothing. People don't realize the progress means nothing because at any moment you can okay a $10 cool now hit us with like 17 more of those and a
I gotta chew
collector.
this ice cube. Sorry.
Now you're good. Okay, collector. Okay. Now 2 more of those and about 15 more squares. Oh,
Hey, okay.
okay. Now keep it going. Keep it going.
Making movements right here.
Just
We got
saying.
two
I'm
lives
just saying.
left here.
12-5.
Oh, shit.
12-5. Don't die yet. Don't die yet. Don't do this to us. Anything? I swear, you get 2 collectors and the game teases you. Come on,
Yeah,
hit one.
Yeah.
No? All right. It's still
I mean,
something. But 200,
That will break us
210?
even on it, won't it?
220?
Because we're
230?
net 130 up too, so we're up 100 on this game right now. We're still down for the day.
I say you leave though. Don't run it back a third time.
Okay, let's find something new in a bit here.
But no, like you were saying, it is the biggest issue with Borderlands was not the story. The story was fine. It was the performance because once you start getting 5 or 6 enemies in an area and you start throwing grenades, brother, I watched my stream chug, not my computer. My stream was like
That's one of the saddest moments as a streamer,
And I'm
watching
like-
a chug or watching people type F and you think you're still alive.
oh my god.
Yeah.
That has happened twice with Borderlands, actually. It shut my whole PC down, and I didn't realize it because I was just black screen. I'm like, it crashed. It's fine. I Control Alt deleted, and then I see Asus, and I'm like, why am I rebooting? Where did my PC go? Yeah, no. I think definitely my 2 biggest L's this year is Call of Duty needs to leave. Like, stop. Unless you were gonna go back to
revert,
like
and
go back to
pick up-
Modern Warfare 2, go back to Black Ops 3, like anything after like 5, like 4, it was just ugh.
Look, I would be down to sort of compromise on a few things. Obviously, I can't have everything that I want. It's selfish. It's unrealistic. But if they did community polling on a large scale about like, do you like slide canceling? Yes or no?
God,
Do you like this? Yes or no? And they took that and they said, okay, you guys have spoken. Right? Come on, man. The community is what builds the game. Like, it keeps it going. You got to keep them happy so that the longevity of the game.
Sneeze.
Call of Duty is just like head up ass a little bit. You know what I mean? They've been doing this for so long, so successful. They don't feel like they have to really
Care?
Exactly. Yeah, care.
Care
much
is a
as
good
they
way to
use
put it.
Yeah.
No, like it is stuff, and it messes me up because Borderlands, in the sense of like longevity. Yeah, the game's been out for a long time, but it's only on its 4th iteration. At least with Call of Duty's desire to not give a rat's ass, they're like, if you want to be technical, 15 games deep.
Yeah.
16 games deep. Like, I mean, we skipped Call of Duty, Black Ops. Okay, we didn't skip, but like it went in between. You had that Advanced Warfare bullshit. Like that was that's when they started to go downhill for me because it became all like techie and flying off walls, and then they took a lot of those mechanics into like 6 and 7, where like now your crap is all clunky mechanical diving and what it feels like. But
you know what though? I do like some of the wall jump type stuff if you're expecting it.
yeah,
Titanfall, really good.
100%.
You know what I
Right?
mean?
Yeah, because you expect it.
Yeah, exactly. I know that I'm going to be hopping in a mech.
Yeah.
And we're going to be having a mech fight. I know that I could do a wall run jump, but I also know they could do it. And I'm ready for it. And like, we've prepared for that. Like, that's what the game's about.
Right. When AW came out, you thought you were going into a game, and all of a sudden this dude's jumping off a map and flying away with a jetpack, and I'm like, did we just become like, again? People used to compare it. They're like, what is Call of Duty trying to be Titanfall?
That's
because Titanfall slapped, dude.
It
like
slapped. It was a haymaker of its time.
Great.
You know, but what I like about going the Apex route, going back to this game, I glazed this game. But you know,
where's the partnership?
I like
Apex.
I know, seriously. I love how they took elements from Titanfall and decided not to keep the wall run because that would be too OP. And then
100%.
they left everything there, but they gave us enough where we could do our own sort of like strafes and jumps and things, and mantles. Like they kept it so that we could do things with skill, but it wasn't like everyone can run on a wall, and because that would just get like
right. No, and I think I have a lot of friends who play Valorant, and I find Valorant to be very aesthetically pleasing, like to the eye. Like you said with Apex, like there's a lot of color popping, a lot of really beautiful stuff. But I don't like the game. I can't wrap my head around how terrible the actual fight system looks. Like you shoot a guy twice and he doesn't die, but he shoots you once and you all of a sudden have no health. Like I get it, there's certain headshot mechanics and stuff to it. This is why my shooter games are like Fortnite and Ark and crap, where like, you know, you can expect it to suck. Like Fortnite, I expect to die to a dude who's hit me once. With Valorant, the whole
in a bush for sure.
oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
You definitely know he's not cheating. He's definitely got that sniper. So I haven't played Fortnite in months, stupid game.
Yeah.
But no, like with Valorant, for example, I find, and this is a thing that I'm hoping a lot of companies do not take into consideration and follow up with. I just find the mechanics seem off. Like I have friends who play it pretty professionally, and I'm like, you were behind a wall. How did you pop out for 3 seconds, get hit 6 times, and move back behind the wall? And they're like, "Well, it was lag." I'm like, that's not the defense mechanism.
The hard peak of the century. It's hard to
right.
tell.
Like it's just the game seems weird to me in the sense of a shooter because there's a lot.
Every shooter needs a kill cam.
100%.
Yeah, like
oh my god,
shooters, they all need kill cams.
Oh my god, I played. Speaking of BRs, I played PUBG back in the day. Like way back in the day. I did not like the game. I thought it was dumb. I didn't like the concept of PUBG in a nutshell, the aim systems, the actual fact that they had recoil, they had aim cones, they had drop off. That pissed me off. I was a Rust player. We didn't have aim cones, we didn't have drop off. I shot you in the face, I shot you in the face. So when I played PUBG, the only time I ever played it, I think I played it twice, and the one time I played it, I picked up a Car 98K. And this was back when like you could go on that website that would show if you bodied a streamer.
Zone 1.
Oh, Chef's Kiss.
Choice.
Oh my god, that's valid.
Car 98, the original.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
I've, but like, you know, back in the days where like you didn't have a kill cam, but you had a website. Yeah. Like it was like owned or something where you could literally go and look at your kills in PUBG if the person was streaming.
Okay.
I mollywopped a streamer, Twitch streamer, from like 270 meters with a car. I don't know how I hit this shot, but I hit it and my buddy goes and just screams like the loudest holy I think I've heard. He goes, "He's dead." And I went, "He's not. I didn't hit anything." And he goes, "He's dead." So I go to the website, and this... God, sorry, editing team. And this guy's live. And I pop into his Twitch channel, and I'm like, "I am so fucking sorry." He goes, "Are you cheating?" And I went, "No, this is the first time I played this game, and I saw a spec." And he was like, "That has to have been one of the nastiest shots I've ever seen." And you just see me looking through this tiny ass scope going, "I think somebody's moving." And I headshot him from like 200 plus meters. And I was just like, I'm going to get reported. And that's what I liked about back in the day because they had a proof system. They had the kill cam of me being like, "Bop." And it was such a wild encounter. And there's too many games that are straying away from kill cams. Like Fortnite, I want a Fortnite kill cam. You know how many cheaters I'd have banned? Holy I'd be a god at banning people. Like I'd just be like epic because all you do is you have to hit report. And it's gotten to the point where I report them. I don't even report them for cheating. My reports are usually fix your stupid game, Epic. That's all my report. I'm surprised I haven't been banned for reporting like that.
I feel you. I'm just thinking, you mentioned PUBG as well, right? Just kind of spinning back to PUBG a little bit. You know, obviously a game of its time. Wasn't the first one to do it, right? They came in the Battle Royale. Wasn't it after... What was that other game?
Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I was in H1Z1. I was in Discord for a second and someone just came in.
No worries.
I'm like, why do you sound different, Qcento?
But I was thinking, you know, I did hear that PUBG was coming out with an extraction shooter for 2026 potentially.
I did hear.
Yeah, kind of thinking about that. I know a lot of the games would have been announced, you know, during the Game Awards that we could be expecting over the next year. But, you know, if you had a wish list of sequels or remakes or remasters that you'd like to see in the coming year, like, because sometimes they'll do a surprise drop too. We've seen that.
Sorry, I think I heard the PUBG thing. My buddy was like, "I'm sorry, bro." I'm like, "No, I was doing the podcast. I'm sorry."
You're good.
Like, I forgot I was in Discord. The PUBG extraction kind of has me excited because, again, I'm slowly edging my way into extraction shooters with Ark. But also to touch on your surprise drop, I'd love it. I would love to see, like, I don't really know, like, there's not much I play shooter. I would like a Rust Battle Royale. I would love a no comment, just boom. Like, no words, just here's a Rust Battle Royale. Because I don't know if you... he's apologizing. I'm like, it's fine, you're good. I don't know if you've watched any of like the Twitch rivals or seen like how they do the Rust, like, you know, team on team kind of thing.
Not the Rust specific. I've seen
Okay.
some of the other stuff.
So recently, Rust partnered with Kick
Hmm.
and did their first ever like kick drops and everything. It was 4 day long event called the Rust Kickoff, and it was like 12 teams, 15 people, like a team, or 10 teams, 15 people a team, like living in a Rust world and PvP and all this. But
Hmm.
it gave me the idea that if Rust did something like BR style, same map, but like you all drop and land at different monuments, gear yourself up and go. I think it would be a big up for like the BR community because Rust is still a egregiously popular game for some reason, as toxic as it is. I think like surprise releases would be so big. Like that's the only one I can think of offhand, like a surprise quiet drop. Because like, you know, obviously Arc we knew about, PUBG we're hearing about. There hasn't
Hmm.
really been. I think there's that other game, Arena Breakout.
Okay.
I think that was supposed to try to be an extraction shooter kind of thing. Same thing with like Delta Force. I don't know. I didn't follow a lot of extractions until now. But I really would like to see some companies do some like silent drops.
I think silent drops say a lot. You let the work speak for itself, and
Yeah.
you know, you don't build up the hype, so you can't disappoint anyone. Really,
Arc
it's
Raiders may or
hard
may not
to.
have done that.
It's hard to, because like if a game comes out and I wasn't expecting it and I wasn't being fed ads for 2 months and I don't like the game, I'm less
Right.
likely to go and say that game was trash, start typing about it. Like it's one of those things where it's like, okay, well, they released it, they didn't make too much of it, there's not too much to get excited about, but whatever, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But if
It's
it's a hit, it's like, holy shit. Like, why didn't you tell me that you were going to drop this game?
right.
This is the craziest game. I think that
Right.
more games need to take maybe, like, if it's a bigger developer, they could afford to do this more. If it's a smaller developer, they have to kind of pump the name
I
out
think
there as much as they can, right?
right. But I still think that like even then with like some small development teams, I think if you're dedicated enough, you could do a silent drop. Like if you're confident enough in your product, like yeah, obviously with like GTA and just game companies in general, like Rockstar, Take Two,
Hmm.
Epic, companies like that, they could just be like, click, cool, new PUBG out. Like you could do that thing, but like
Yeah.
for the smaller companies, it's like you said, it's a risk. You want to pump the game out, but I think genuinely, if you're confident in your work, like really confident, like you know how the devs for Claire Obscure were,
Hmm.
I think even without any sort of knowledge of Claire Obscure, they could have silent dropped that game, and it would have blown up still just like it did.
Yeah.
It's that amount of dedication and work you put in that I think if you go for it hard enough, a lot of companies could get away with success after a silent drop.
Yeah, yeah, and for the smaller ones that can't exactly do like a dead silent drop, get it in the
Yeah.
hands of a few creators that you
Yep.
think would make a difference before the drop, and ones that genuinely like the product, right? Not ones you're paying a couple $100 to say they like the product. Like we
Right,
could
dude.
all kind of sift those out,
Right. I mean,
right?
let's be
You need to
real.
find the right gamers, and they'll be there, from day one, and they'll stay with it, right?
And I think that's where the drop premises comes in really because like you get it in the hands of like, and I mean I know you're a big card builder roguelike kind of fan, like
Yeah, yeah,
from what I've seen, like the card games and stuff, if someone hit you up with something they said nothing about and you genuinely loved it, you're like, oh, I got two other friends that do the same kind of things, and all of a sudden, Twitch and YouTube start making these rounds of what the hell is this that these people are playing day in and day out, and then it
hmm,
draws that traction, like I mean, again, it was like when you said, less of a silent drop in the Pal World case. They were definitely pushing it, but it went from a haha, lol, this is so funny, it's a joke, to literally Twitch had so many people in the bloody category, the website was running like ass
yeah,
for like
yeah,
3 days. It was like you'd load up a stream and it'd be like, is it my computer?
yeah.
Like Twitch got overloaded, and I think if you find the right creators to start something like that, who says you can't be the next Pal? Look at Schedule One.
But yeah,
There's a
that's
there's a
another
prime.
game. That is one of the best examples of a game that really outdid
God,
itself this year. The
he
release
is
of Schedule
solo
One
dev.
was insane.
Oh, and you got to think it. You go back to talking about single development teams, and you think of Eric Barone, you think of Concerned Ape from Stardew Valley.
Hmm.
Schedule 1 genuinely, in my eyes, gave the launch of Stardew Valley a run for its fucking money. Because that man went from a little project in his garage to 6 months later being net worth of over $1.5 million. Tell me anyone you know who makes 6 months go from nothing to a multi-millionaire. And I think
Hmm.
Schedule Two's on the horizon. Like, the guy's not even backing down yet. I'm like, sir,
Yeah.
relax, ride this wave. He did that launch
Hmm.
incredibly. And I mean, let's be real. Editors, take this out if you don't want to get demonetized. Who doesn't want to be a drug dealer and not get arrested for it?
Yeah. I mean,
That game
well,
gave
the
every
idea,
person's fantasy a
and the
life.
thing is, I think their play on it, because it's not like there wasn't a drug dealer simulator.
Right.
There is one on Steam,
There's
but it
three.
did not. Yeah, it's a whole franchise, right? So with that being said, it's just like everything from the front art that they released for this, like the guy,
Oh my god, yeah.
iconic. But just like the actual gameplay, making it more loopy and fun, and
Yeah.
making it less serious than it had to be.
Stupid names
Awesome.
of drug strains,
Yeah,
stupid
exactly.
effects when you take the drugs you're not supposed to be taking.
Like,
Like,
think about it. You're
the
making it
skateboard?
now. You're making it now for the communities. Like, it starts with like, okay, can we get the streamer to have a fun time playing this game for real
Yeah.
and not fake it? And then if he's doing that, everybody wants to emulate that experience. They want to have that
Yeah.
same experience for themselves. So they're just gonna go buy the game and do it themselves with their friends, right? So
right.
again, one
That
of the
was
best drops of the year, actually. Not saying it was one of the best games of the year, but like the success of it was better than I expected, and it did amazing.
Oh,
So
100%.
yeah,
Honestly, it slipped my mind briefly, but yeah,
yeah.
the game faded a little quicker than I think I wanted, but I think he's
Mhm.
taken a lot realization from that, and I think Schedule 2 might be interesting because,
I think, yeah.
it faded quicker than I want. Like, it faded to the point where I didn't get into it in time. I was like, oh,
Yeah. I think a lot of it came from the content, the amount of it, the
yeah.
lack of
There
additional
was
content.
so little early on, and I think
Yeah.
he's realized that, which is I think why he's doing a sked. Like, he made a post very quickly after
Mhm.
S1's initial die down and was like, okay, so Schedule 2's coming out, and I'm like, okay. And then I kind of like went back and like looked at a lot of creators playing the game and like finishing it really quick, like
Mhm.
unfathomably fast for a game that you think would be something with longevity. I mean, you're making drugs.
You know,
That isn't a short process by any means.
it's funny that I'm thinking about sim games now. Another sim game that really popped off this year was the TCG simulator. Remember the
Oh
TCG card store
my god,
simulator?
yes.
Because they did the Pokemon mod and then
Yeah.
other different types of card game mods that you can download and play. So you could pretend
Yeah.
it's a Magic shop or a
Oh,
Pokemon shop or whatever.
incredible.
Yeah, so that game did extremely well as well. So it feels like right now one of the things that is trending more than I initially realized are the sim games.
But yeah, I mean, Water Park Simulator. I'm waiting for their multiplayer update so bad, so bad. I haven't bought the game yet. My
Euro
bestie plays
Truck
it.
Sims,
Euro
Goat
Truck Sim.
Simulator.
Bruh,
I had a
that
lot of
was
friends
that
that
was a
bought the lawn
classic.
mowing simulator.
You know what's funny? I bought Storage Wars Simulator,
Okay.
and don't get me wrong, great. Not enough content, I think, which is why I haven't picked it back up yet. But a lot of the like sim games are really they're really enthralling, and like in the sense of like Water Park Simulator, for
Mhm.
example,
Mhm.
content is being consistent. Like, they've added new stuff. There's a multiplayer update coming, I think, very soon, and that's when I'm going to buy it.
I feel like
Because
that
my
would be an
bestie
easy
and
one to
I,
make content for Water
oh,
Park. Yeah,
so
or
easy.
it's like Roller Coaster Tycoon. Like that
Oh my
thing is
god, yeah.
massive.
Like,
Yeah, yeah.
I think the one that I really liked, I played a fair amount of it, was Supermarket Sim. Supermarket Sim
Okay.
was great. You're running your supermarket. They dropped a free multiplayer version called Supermarket Together, and we had like six of us just trying to run this damn supermarket. One of us was buying this, one of us was cleaning, one of us was beating people with brooms when they tried to steal. Highlight, peak gameplay. Peak gameplay when I can beat your ass with a broom when you steal from me.
Yeah.
Peak gameplay. But like, a lot of the sims are keeping that concept. Water Park Simulator, you hit them with hammers when they try to get in the ticket line for free. Like, a lot of the games that are simming are really taking it from the genre of like each and every game. Like, someone's picking something out from
Mhm.
everything. And I think, in the sense of TCG Simulator, wow, they just also put out a free multiplayer style update
That's cool.
recently.
That's cool.
I think it was free. It
Yeah.
was a couple dollars, but it let you run a card shop with your friends. So yeah, I think Sims, I'm hoping Sims continue to
Yeah.
thrive in
And for
2026.
me, I like the idea of not having a hyper realistic sim,
Yeah,
right? It's
100%.
just about going about that type of thing using core elements of what makes that type of business or that
Right.
activity, but then adding some fun to it. Because I've
100%.
seen ones in the shop that I will never buy. It's like, why would I want to do hyper realism retail simulator? Like working retail, I've done this,
Sucks.
and it's tough. It's a tough gig, man.
I did that for 15 years. I
Yeah,
don't want to
exactly.
do it
I
again.
did my time too. I think I did closer to 10 years.
Yeah, mine
But
was all cell phones though, so that was AIDS.
yeah,
But no, I don't want to do hyper simulate like,
yeah,
a hyper house buying simulator. Nobody wants to buy a house in real life. I don't want to buy a house in a video game.
yeah,
We'll cry
exactly.
about it because the video game one I can afford.
Yeah, exactly. The
No.
house might be haunted or something cool, not not
Like,
just have a
great.
fucking leak and a
Who
bunch of
says it when
electrical
someone wasn't
problems.
dead in there,
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
oh no.
So
Like, I get it. I get the people who are trying to like make hyper realistic simulators, but like politely and respectfully, no.
I think that that could be said about not just The Sims, though, right? Like the theme of 2025 that I want to just kind of push to the side going into 2026 would be that hyperrealism.
Oh, preach.
It's a video game, man.
Like, I get it. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, yeah,
Claire Obscure,
yeah,
gorgeous through and through. Um, Ghost of Tsushima, the other one that came out, Wukong, Black Myth Wukong.
yeah.
Look, I get where you're going with the cool fighting stuff. Stop making it realistic. If a monkey hits me and kills me, I understand that a gorilla is going to kill me if he hits me. But like, go back to the Skyrim days where like I'm beating on a dragon with a pitchfork.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
I
Yeah,
get it.
yeah,
I
yeah.
understand where people are coming from, and I think Claire Obscure, it is a hard game. And yes, it's very realistic, but I think what they've got going for them is just how flawless the game was. Would I be happy if Claire Obscure stepped it back a bit and let me do things with a broom or some shit? Yeah, of course. I think the realism. Look, I get it. People want to, it's like you said, we want to flex our biggest graphics card. You know,
Hmm.
I can run this game on ultra. Look how pretty it is. No, no. Go back to like even 3-4 years ago when look at The Sims. The Sims has never once in its life been hyper realistic. Yeah, okay, you go get a job, you do stuff, but it's never felt like you're forced to do this crap. If I just want to do a house builder all day, I can house build all
That's
day.
it. Yeah,
So I think changes would be nice. Like I like realism to a sense. Like Minecraft has realistic shader packs. They look cool.
hmm.
Would I use them all the time?
No,
No, I don't. I'm playing this game for pixels, not to look at this tree and go, wow, I can see the rings of how old it is.
that's exactly it.
I might be getting older, and maybe it's just because I don't think this is the cool genre, but like, I don't get realism in video games. Like, video game. What part of that sentence screams realistic?
Also, we're gonna hop into a new one here
Ooh,
called Santa's
Santa.
Sleigh, just in time for Christmas tomorrow. By the way, maybe we'll have some better luck here. But
Maybe
you know,
Santa will give you some luck here.
yeah, we need it bad from the last game we played. Yeah, one of the things that I want to get rid of going forward, if or at least reduce and only have when it's appropriate, is the hyperrealism. Sometimes there's a case for it; it makes a lot of sense. Sometimes there's not. And another thing that I'm worried about going into 2026, as we see more and more success from the extraction shooter genre, is that a lot of companies might deviate from their typical releases and what they had in mind to kind of follow the trend with extraction shooters and put out a lackluster game to try to capitalize on a trend right now. So if you find yourself as a developer looking at, okay, let's get on the extraction shooter bandwagon, make sure it's something you actually want to do and that you're going to do well, and you're going to offer something that hasn't been done before or like drastically improves what's been done currently. So, just that's something I'm worried about. One of the things that I don't want to see a lot of next year is just like riding that
Right.
extraction shooter wave and not doing it well. I think
And
that PUBG will do it probably well,
I hope so,
but
because
I'm worried about smaller releases coming out and just wasting tons and tons of money and time putting out this game that's not really going to do a whole lot, you know?
yeah, I think there was. I can't remember what it was, but I think there was something that came out after Arc Raiders and it didn't even make it. There was something that was mentioned, like extraction wise, or it might have came out right before it. There was something a couple of friends of mine were talking about, and it didn't even last. But like you were talking about battle royales in the sense of, I split that to battle royale because it made me think of something. you were talking about how you like tried all these battle royales. You were playing stupid stuff like Animal Battle Royale. I actually played the one that you were talking about, and it was fucking incredible. Like it was such a stupid,
Yeah, that one got away.
cutesy
That one
little
got away with
thing.
it because it did not try too hard,
No, and I think another one.
and it was also
not,
top down. It was kind of fun.
it was. It
Yeah,
was.
so that was
Come
kind
on,
of the
do
different
it.
experience that it offered, right? A little bit of
Do
top
it.
down, the comedy aspect of things. We didn't get it too bad. I think we need 3 scatterers to make it.
Yeah, I know. I saw the 2, but speaking of games that are not trying too hard, and I want to know if you've heard it. Have you heard anything or seen much about Escape from Duckov?
Yeah.
I have not played it yet.
Yeah.
It is on my goal, but I think that was this year.
Escape from Duckov is kind of like the Super Animal Royale version of Tarkov, and Arc Raiders. I started seeing it in my feeds about 2 weeks ago before I bought Arc Raiders, and I was telling my friends, like, why would I spend $40 for that when I can just get this game for fun? And they're like, shut up, dude.
All right, come on. Christmas luck?
I'm
Christmas
sure.
luck?
Please.
Ugh.
Not quite. But it's, yeah, I mean, Escape from Duckov, I think that would be a good comedic gameplay loop.
Yeah, it's something I think I'm gonna
It's
get.
a different take on the genre. I think that you can take a break from playing another Extraction, go to this, and just be like, all right, this is kind of funny. So,
yeah, and it did really well. Like it did incredibly well. It was
overwhelmingly positive right now, I think, on Steam. What was?
Yeah, I've been following the developer. I've been following the developer on Twitter for a while, and just the sheer amount of shock. Like, oh, early? That's early double scatter. Come on, oh, you tease.
I know.
I see that, you tease. Wild.
Okay.
The house always wins. But no, I'm following the developer on Twitter, and just the sheer shock, even on their development team, of how good the game's doing. I tweeted them back. I'm like, what did you expect? It's Tarkov with ducks. Anyone who likes ducks is playing this game. Like, it was.
It's Tarkov, though. You see, it just came to Steam, and it's on sale.
I don't.
Because before it wasn't Steam, was it? It was like some third-party website you had to go to and buy it there and download it as a program.
I think so.
Yeah,
and
I remember wanting to maybe try it like a year or two ago. Never ended up doing it because I thought it was too much of a barrier to entry. I'm so lazy.
Right?
And
me too.
I just saw it in Steam and on sale, and I'm like, you are sweating.
Yeah,
Scatter,
they
please.
Scatter.
There we go.
Yes. They 1.0 released it. That's why.
10 free spins. That's massive.
All right. All right.
Gotcha.
Yeah, they 1.0. What does this do? Oh,
Wild's here.
Oh, are you just gonna?
Yes, sir. This game said high volatility or
Oh, probably. Oh, so
like
every spin you kick up some wilds, and we hope to hit. Is a scatter a free spin, or is it 2? It's probably 2.
3 scatters.
Oh, that's
mega.
What do we got? Like, what do we got? Right? What do we got? Like,
well,
$30?
150 wager is probably going to be
so probably 30 bucks.
Probably.
Oh, we're still going. 40?
Let's go.
50? I'm not going to say no about this.
Listen, where do we stop? 75. I'm calling it.
80?
Hope so.
66. 30. Okay.
It's not over yet, though. Like we're
no,
still
you
going.
still
We're
have
still
6 spins.
Yeah.
But we need some good hits. Oh, is that a retrigger? I keep thinking like I thought 3. Okay, so 3 is probably a retrigger.
I just noticed now he's like back leg kicking the.
Yeah, he's hoofing it.
Yeah, just both.
Like no. See, I lost train of thought. This is what happens when you gamble. Oh, a 2x wild, and those gonna hit jacks. That should hit.
Let's go. A few bucks off that.
Okay. Come on, retrigger. Yeah. Come on, Christmas retrigger. I wore Santa for a reason. You. Why I don't gamble often. I do, you know. I do a little bit of gambling every now and then. Might take a check out at Jackpot City, being a local Ontario boy, you know. Shout out for a casino I can actually use.
Yeah. It's the place to go in Canada, honestly. Just not Wacky Panda today. Stay off the Wacky Panda, guys.
Yeah, stay off Wacky Panda. They don't like us. I mean, that was what, $75?
Right there, it was. I think we broke 80 off that.
Okay.
Yeah. And it didn't take us a lot to get there either. I think we spent like 20, 30 bucks we got in.
Quite nice. I've had my fair share of decent wins in the gambling days before the regulations in Ontario cooked and you could go anywhere you wanted. I had I was at work. Worked in a vape shop back in the day. I was the store manager and it was dead, so I was like, I'm gonna gamble. Terrible idea. Probably shouldn't have gambled.
I can see how that would be a vibe though. You got your coffee,
I had my coffee, my vape, and I was just gambling. Ended up hitting a $1,200 win on Doghouse Megaways multi-hold
Right on.
on a $20 bet. Bought the bonus for 20 bucks.
Hell yeah.
1,200. I was like,
Those ones feel the
gambling.
best. The biggest feature that we bought here was $1,000 feature. So we got
Ugh.
3 big spins for 1,000, and
Ugh.
we actually came out of that with 18.
Okay.
Yeah, I was holy crap. That was
1,800
yeah.
or 18,000?
Oh no, 1,800.
Oh, I was like, Jesus.
18,000 would have been nice, man. But those were crazy. Like I
I
rolled a couple of those because we yo-yoed a bit before I got like my money back and some. But
yeah, yeah.
man, that was like the feeling of that was unparalleled. Like,
It's terrifying though. My buddy is. I wouldn't say he's addicted. He's definitely got a small problem.
mhm.
That he has managed responsibly. He gam bans. If you do gambling on your computer or your phone and you feel like you have an addiction, you can use a software called Gamban.
Okay.
And it once you buy it, it locks it to your computer for a year. You cannot remove it. So if you go to any gambling site, it instantly blocks you. Like you cannot get around it. So he
Three
gam banned
bells.
himself quite a few times. 3 bells was at like 20 bucks.
Oh, 30.
30.
Nice, nice, nice.
Okay, we're not mad
Not
about that.
expecting that for that.
No.
That's cool that they have things in place for that. You know what I mean? That you can't
Yeah,
just
it's
manually
true.
turn off.
But he is a maniac. I when I stream, his promise is if he wins, I win, no matter what. And he's come in a couple times and dropped 50, and I'm like, okay, you just dropped 50 subs. That's like $300 Canadian. What did you win? And he'll send me a replay link. The biggest replay link I've seen him do was on Gems Bonanza. Cracked game, by the way. Love Gems.
Bonanza?
It was a $300 bonus buy. He came out with $22,000.
That is cracked.
And he's done this a few times on games. Like he's gotten 10k wins, 18k wins. I always get the replays sent to me.
I feel like we're due. We're definitely here.
I would take this scatter right here. I think we're
get it right
due.
now.
I think we're very much due for it. You know, we're talking about the good luck. Give us the third scatter. But no, I've seen him do some wild things, and I always know he's one because he'll come in, say nothing, drop subs, and then be like, "I sent you a replay link," and I'm like, "Yeah, okay." His most recent one, I can't remember what game it was, but it was Last Hit. I was like, "This is going nowhere." It was Fruit Party, I think.
Okay.
You know the one the Maltese that every time you hit it it Maltese every time you make it connected it X's higher on
I've
his
seen
last
ones
hit.
like that, yeah.
On his last hit, it was like, oh my god, the multipliers were like it was 256 512, and on his last hit he hit best symbol, and what would have been like a 1.1k win was a 9.1k win, and I was just like,
That's disgusting.
I'm like, I hate you, you know that? Because I'll do it. I'll go
Why
in and
can't it be me?
I'll put $100 in and I'll burn $100, and I'm like, he's like, this because you don't put in 300 and buy it for 2, and I'm like, no, because I'm gonna lose $300.
Yeah,
I'm not
it's-
you,
You can't win if you don't play, and if you
right?
if you play scared, you don't win.
Right.
Usually.
It's like you
I've
have to
learned
go
that
in
one the
there.
hard way. So that's why I try to capitalize on deposit matching bonuses when I'm in, and
Yeah.
you know, like double up on the cash that way, and just try to, like, you know, it ebbs and it flows, man. You could be down quite a lot before you hit that break, so you got to be comfortable with that. It's not for
Yeah.
everyone, but
Gambling is not for people who are scared to lose money.
yeah, 100%.
And I am not a fan of losing money, which is why I gamble once in a blue moon.
Yeah. When it comes
Oh.
to
We're gonna get a bonus here.
maybe when it comes to like the content and stuff like that, I was just thinking, like, what's your schedule looking like for the holiday season? Are you you're gonna be going right through after this and streaming today and kind of continuing through Christmas and the New Year, or you
Yep.
taking some time off as well?
Nope, I have zero intentions to take time off. Obviously, being my full time gig, you know, I take it a little more aggressively than a lot of people, which is cool.
You gotta though, because like you gotta milk it for what it's worth, and you're
I
always
have
thinking
to.
about growing it and stuff like that. Do
Right.
you find that sort of is burning you out a little bit, or do you find like overall you're kind of motivated in the current, like where things are at right now? You're motivated by that. You're
As
in
I
grind
yawn.
mode, super grind
Um,
mode.
As I yawn to half answer that question, so
Yeah.
yes and no. I'm at this weird like stagnation period where I don't know what the hell I want to play.
Hmm.
Like I normally stream Mondays, but I took Monday off and streamed Tuesday because I had zero motivation to figure out what I wanted to play. I was just like, I don't want to do anything. because I've been playing so much Path of Exile. But like, I'm not really feeling Fortnite this season because like there's so many cheaters. We'll take a 30. So it's tough. It's like I have the desire to grind because now I've got the hiccups. Sorry.
I like that you're known for more variety. I'm known for just a couple, like a game in particular, and then people enjoy when I play maybe one or two other games once in a while. But like for me, that's where the burnout comes in. It's like I'm known for playing one game, but if I don't feel like playing that game, then I don't have the same sort of viewership. And if I'm looking at it like a business, then it gets tiring that way. So that's kind of where I'm at with things, and I've sort of hit a rut where it's hard to grow the channel because you're expected to put out some sort of things, and then it feels like you're almost starting over again if you do something else. So I kind of envy. I have a lot of creators on this show that are variety streamers or get away with doing that, and they're in a place where the growth might be a little bit slower, but it's consistent and the loyalty is extremely high. So I think that you've got it good where you're at. And if the worst problem is what game do I play this week, if you know that they're going to show up for pretty much whatever you play for the most part, it's kind of a nice feeling.
It is, and obviously I've told my community about when this is gonna go out, and that they're gonna go watch it. So obviously, shout out to my community. The loyalty is there. I fully agree with the sentiment. It's tough because you're like, oh, what am I gonna play today? And that's the hardest problem as a streamer. You're not really that bad, and it is. The growth is slow right now. There's a lot of changes that have been made on Kick for the positive.
Right.
One of the big changes is we're gonna get this bonus real quick.
Probably. Yes, sir. Give me another one. Make it better.
Oh my god, super scatter? That'd be wild. I don't know what they do on a super scatter on this game, but no, like
spins, honestly.
Probably. Like you were saying though, it is tough because there are changes being made to Kick. Oh, retrigger? That'd be cool. Why not?
So good.
Sick. It is tough. There has been a lot of, I'm sure as a YouTube and Twitch streamer, more on the purple side, you're gonna understand the concept of, view botting. We've had some issues on Kick, and is that good? Oh, that looked a lot better. You can't shake like that.
I heard they exposed a lot on the Twitch side too this year for some of the bigger creators.
They did.
Yeah, they were able to determine that. That's
I'm not gonna flaunt names because I'm professional, but a lot of the big names got exposed on Twitch. But the same happened on my end on Kick. We had you obviously understand Twitch partner. Kick has the same concept, Kick partner, being a part of the Kick partner program. Obviously, I try to uphold myself to a better standard. Some people have accused me of viewbotting, and I'm like, what, with my 20 viewers? Oh no. Not doing this whole viewbotting thing, right?
If the chat's moving, how many of those do they think you're botting for? Like,
right?
What would be the point at that rate?
Right, and my chat's usually quiet sometimes. This was a little bit more of a Sando as a YouTuber I watch named Vegas Matt. This was that had so much potential.
I know.
Give us a connection. That's a full screen of Jacks. That should be a connection.
Things are looking better.
Jacks are a terrible symbol. Note to self: Jacks are a terrible symbol. If that was like the gingerbread, that probably would have been really good.
51 and 10 freeze nice though. It's not.
It is, especially at back to back. Run it right back. Oh my.
See, we need more. That's it. It's a Christmas miracle.
It is, but no. To touch on what you said, it is slow, and I know it's a run it back. You want to give us multiple spins?
Oh my god! This is the start of the best thing.
Give us a fourth one. Okay, fine. We'll take 3. That's what, 10 more?
I
assume that's 10 more.
I really hope that's how it goes. Imagine 20 free spins.
What is it doing?
Extra, yes.
Oh my god.
It's exactly what it is.
But yeah, trying to distraction. Gambling does it. So like, no, it's been slow because right now they're doing a big view bot per.
What's an epic win? Is epic better than mega? Usually.
Maybe. It's not going up as fast,
big,
so no.
Big. I think epic's after big.
Well, we let this number count.
Loot tiers in games.
I know, right? Let me go back to the old the Diablo days.
If I skip, I can get ahead quicker. I could click the skip.
$90? Okay. This is what gambling does.
Still 17 to go. This is going to be like, imagine a $500 payout. We basically, if we can make this work right now, we can break even for the day. And I feel pretty good about that at this point.
All right.
Yeah, we were down like below 200 at one point here today. So
now we're at least. Come on, keep it going though. Come on, Rudolph. You're not even Rudolph. What are you, like Vixen, Comet, Blitzen, one of the less relevant ones?
Yeah, exactly.
We still love you, so make it rain. But God, my ADHD brain. The editors are gonna look at this and be like, "Good God!" I'll be like, "Hi," but no, they've done a big viewbot purge,
Yep.
and a lot of like partners are seeing reduction in pay.
Hmm.
And I'm not saying that to be sound bad. I've spoken to this. I'm actually relatively in contact with one of the faces of Kick, like one of their main staff.
Hmm.
And I've mentioned it that I've noticed a pay cut, and it's not because I'm botting. What's happening is Kick is also cracking down, and I think Twitch did it recently on tabbing up your other streamers. Tabbing up the people you're
Oh,
watching.
so if people don't have time to actually stick around, but they'll tab you on not necessarily mute, but a low volume.
Oh yeah, run it back, run it back.
I know on Twitch you got to be above a certain percent
We
volume
hit that.
to count. Does it hit?
It's the scatter's
shit.
right there.
Okay.
That's another 10.
Let's go. I missed it. I was looking.
Sorry to cut you off.
No. We keep the good times rolling here, man.
All right, but yeah, no. So exactly. Although that should have been a hell of a fucking win. Good. Okay, come on.
This is getting even better.
Hit anything. Well, hit a good. Oh.
We got 15 to make this right. Come on.
Run it back. Okay, that would have been funny. But no, like you were saying, yeah, they've done it. So a lot of people, because Kick is smaller, right? Like we're only 3 years old. We're not Twitch, and it's like 23rd year or whatever. A lot of the viewers on Kick are fellow streamers. So a lot of us fellow streamers would, go into someone's chat, be like, "Hey, have a good day. I'm here until the end," and then we would just go back to do our thing.
Yeah.
Well, Kick's cracking down on that because that's not genuine engagement.
Mm-hmm.
So they're at the point where the algorithm can actually detect if you're being tabbed up. So like, let's say 40 people, 40 of my friends have me tabbed up because like, oh, maybe they're working, maybe they're visiting friends, whatever. Like they've got my tab open, but they're not chatting. And that's causing a pay cut to partners because it's non-organic view, which, okay, yes, I'm not against. I do agree with it.
I see it
but,
from the point of...
Oh, that should have been
Go
a lot
for
bigger.
it.
I was thinking that was going to be a lot bigger. I think I love my lurkers. That's something that I will say right now.
That's not going to be
okay. That's going to be like what, $20, $30. We'll take it. I love my lurkers, and I think as a streamer, many of us can attest. Oh, a third one, no, unfortunately. We got 5 spins. We could pop another one. Do it.
Yes.
Bro, another 10?
Yeah, another 10. We're going
good
back
because we need it.
Yeah,
let me tell you, this is a
168
small amount for
enough.
30 spins.
Yeah, it was not enough for what we're looking at here. So, yeah, one thing that I don't like is that obviously, I mean, it's a more transparent way for, the app or like Twitch or Kick to communicate with, people that are paying for ads, right? Like they're showing ads to us and they're making money, like, you know what I mean? Like you want advertisers to be like actually getting genuine engagement for the ads when they're being seen and have them actually seen by people. I get that much, but also like help the small guy, you know what I mean? Like to us, that lurker makes a difference. You know what I mean?
Right. And that's the point I came across because obviously the big thing with Kick is we don't have ads right now. Kick is no ads.
Okay.
Now they are coming. Eddie, our wonderful CEO, has said that they are coming, but they're not coming right now because he wants to find a way to make them as physically least intrusive as possible.
Banner
ads. He doesn't like Twitch's system.
Yeah, I like banner ads, not a 1 of 10 unskippable.
Right? Like I don't like. I personally, again, no disrespect, because obviously, even though I'm not on Kick right now, I am still representing Kick, and as a partner, I am not to bash other platforms. So I wouldn't say I'm bashing Twitch. No. I just do not agree with their ad system, because then it forces you to either subscribe or get Turbo to get away from the stream.
I could bash Twitch. They denied me for the partner program 3 times.
I don't understand though, because I went and followed you on Twitch. You have everything you need to hit the metrics. Like, I don't know why you're denied.
And I don't say anything spicy. It's a very family-friendly, ad-friendly channel. Like the occasional F-bomb and a shit or whatever. But like, I'm not saying anything, doing anything. The viewers are there.
Come on, hit something at the end.
Yeah, like they're very. It's very hard to become a partner on Twitch.
I'm not mad about this win. I'm more mad about the fact that 40 spins was not as high as I thought. I think I don't fully understand the connect in this game, because I'm assuming you have to connect from the first line, and I think that's maybe why I'm bitter.
Yeah.
Some games they'll connect wherever, but no, to touch on what you were saying, I'm the complete opposite. like I told the lovely Noah when we spoke, because she mentioned she was looking for people a little less family friendly, and by all means, I drop more f bombs than any family should be hearing.
Yeah, it's just nice to kind of have an unfiltered, like real experience on the pod. You know what I mean? So if it's not like, I understand being brand safe and being real. There's a fine line there. I think you could be both.
Should be, but I don't
Yeah,
know what that line is. Let me
yeah,
tell you.
yeah.
You
But
know,
it's
it's tough because I can't. I've told my community and my bestie that I want to bring back Twitch nights where I'll do like 6 hours on Kick,
mhm.
and then I'll do 6 on Twitch. I know I can multi-stream, but with Kick, if you multi-stream on any horizontal sites, they do 50% pay cut you,
Oh, good to
which
know.
makes sense. Which makes sense if you're a
Does
partner.
horizontal
If you're
include like a YouTube?
Yeah, but you have to be partner. You're not affected if you come to Kick and multi-stream. It's
Okay,
only during partner.
got you.
I should have probably prefaced that. But basically, as partner, if I go to like your horizontal YouTube or Twitch or something, I have to enable a toggle in my chat, like in my dashboard, basically saying I'm multi-streaming, and they basically cut your pay in half, which is
Okay,
fine. Acceptable. I totally
that's
agree. Like,
reasonable.
right.
Yep.
Especially if your Twitch community is as big as your Kick community. Who says you're not getting 500 subs there, 50 subs on Kick? You're getting a lot of ads there. You're getting a lot of bits. Blah blah blah. So it evens itself out. But the thing is, I've wanted to bring back Twitch days, but it is so hard for me to bring back Twitch days because Twitch will send me to Jesus immediately as soon as I get mad at someone
Yeah.
and spew out my, I'm not racist, I'm not homophobic, I'm not like derogatory, but I'm a PvPer in Rust, and I will tell you your mom shouldn't have had you real
Yeah, but
quickly.
that's kind of that's I was gonna say that's what it's all about.
Right, it's Rust. You're not playing that game to make friends, and if you
Yeah,
are, which
yeah,
I have, goddamn, congratulations.
yeah.
That game is taught. Like you think of the top most toxic game communities in gaming. You've got Rust and League of Legends up at 1 and 2, 100%. Like League of Legends is a toxic fucking game. Like I played that for 20 minutes and was like, hell no. Um, but that's my problem is I want to come back to Twitch and maybe see if I can slowly grow my Twitch now that I've got
Mhm.
like a 3-4 thousand following on Kick, you know. But it's like ugh, because I know I'm gonna get it. I've seen someone get banned for being way too vulgar. Like every second word, if I'm playing Rust, is probably fuck. Like, come
Yeah.
on. So like, yeah, it's slow growth, but it goes back to exactly what you said. I have the regulars who are in there every damn stream, no matter what. They may not be chatting every 5 seconds, but
Mhm.
they're there every stream, and that's what I'd want. Like I tell people all the time, I would rather a chat
Rip
full of
from that
20
one.
people
Yeah.
than a chat full of 1,000 of you that aren't even engaging.
I agree with you on that. It hasn't been like a exceptional year as far as content creation goes for me. It's been pretty standard, you know. Uh, Gaming in general this year has been pretty good, and I think there's a lot to look forward to in 2026 and whatnot. Just kind of in summary, that's how I feel about it. You're pretty much on the same page, or
Yeah, for the most part, I think, like I said, it's been a year. Hasn't been anything exceptional. I haven't played any of the exceptional games that have come out. Like I've played Arc Raiders. It's great. There's some kinks, sure. Did I play Claire Obscure? No, because it's not up my alley.
Mhm.
I'm not into the hyper realism, but I will gladly appreciate the game. So I think for me, it's been a pretty standard year. Content creation obviously has been, it has its ups and downs. I was in Dallas in May in DreamHack.
Okay,
The community flew me out. My chat flew me out.
that's awesome.
I was a creator for the first time in my life. I have my little creator badge hanging up behind me, hidden right now behind this cool green screen. I keep it like it was an exceptional year in terms of my own accomplishments.
Hmm.
Being able to fly out as a creator, hang out in the lounge, meet other fellow creators that I may not have gotten a chance to catch when I'm running around this convention center that's bloody fucking massive. Like it was 30 minutes to walk from one end to the other.
I feel like at
And
that point you've kind of
a,
made it, right? Like
I'm a big dude, so that wasn't
you
fun
could you could
either.
call yourself a content creator if you're being at these events.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
for
went
sure.
I went in Atlanta previous year, but I didn't go as a creator. They denied me. And
Okay.
I told the DreamHack like coordinator. I was like, cool, this is fine. Next year, you're slapping a badge on me. And he goes, give me a reason to. I did it.
And
He gave me a badge. I walked up to him and I went, so. He goes, you gave me a reason, and I was like, it's good to see you. You know, it was nice. He's actually got the worst photo of me in existence, photobombing somebody. Didn't think he was gonna post it. Posted it multiple times. I'm like, stop doing this to me. But no, I've gotten to that point where I know I'm a creator. Like I feel in my own mindset that I've made it as a creator.
Mm-hmm.
Have I made it as a livable creator? We're working on it. We're working on it. Let's be real. I'm Canadian. You can't live off anything in this country.
Yeah.
Free healthcare. Great.
That's about it. So
sorry, I love Canada. I love my country, but besides the healthcare that you wait 9.5 hours in a hospital for, I ain't got much. You know, cost of living. Unless you're in the Maritimes. Yeah, if I wanna get a hold of 40 grand and move out to the Maritimes, I'm living lavish. I wanna buy a house in Ontario.
I want to show you something.
Okay.
Something just to wrap up on a high note, hopefully, today. You know, we talked about gaming 2025. You know, was it really that great? Overall, again, I think it's been a pretty good year for gaming. Talked about life as a content creator in this climate. And again, it's not so great. It's not so bad. It's somewhere in between. We keep on trucking. You got to really love what you do to be a creator, I think, in Canada. You know, the passion's here, guys, all around. But we're going to end today on a nice little feature, man. We're going to buy a bonus. Gaslight District. I'm going in at 400 because we kind of made back what we lost. And I'm feeling like we should reward this on Christmas Eve, you know, going into Christmas here with something real special. So Gaslight District, you down?
Down, but are we bringing in the RNG decides who gets the spicy question to end it?
We should.
All right.
We should. Let's bring it in. Little roguelike spicy segment. So if it wins more than what we've deposited in this case, so if the win's above 400, I'll ask you.
Okay.
Unless you pick.
No, I'm fine. If the win, I was gonna say I was gonna take the high if you wanted to take the low. If the win's more than 4, you'll ask me a question. If the win is under it, I'm going after you.
Yeah. And give me your worst.
I'm hoping you win only because I'd like to see you make a bang, but like, you know,
yeah.
Let's see.
Like if I win back 380, you still get your question, that's cool too.
I mean, hey, if we can get close to breaking even.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be mad. Oh, this is starting off pretty. Ooh, I like this game style.
Yes,
this reminds me of
like BioShock-esque.
No, like the actual mechanic reminds me of what the hell's it called? Frickin' Bananas by No Limit City. Or was it NLC? Was it Hacksaw.
Okay.
It's got that same concept where you line it up and it does all the angles and stuff. Like all the different line connections. Wow, that was English. I mean, it isn't starting off bad. That's gonna be like what?
Oh, we got 4 to go.
Was it only? It's only 8 spins.
We got 4 to go.
Oh, okay. The 2x is nice. I might be getting the question.
54?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, the 2x sticks.
And it's a 4 now. This is
and
what
it's
we were
a
talking
4x. Okay, yeah. This is the multiplicative.
4 on 20. Or just 4 equals 20. Got you.
4 equals 20. Ooh. Now it's... Oh, my God.
Okay, come on.
Hey, is that going to...
50,
okay.
50,
40. I saw 90. That's going to be about 100 and... Okay, 99. Oh. This is...
It's gonna tally up the total here.
No.
57. Okay, so we went back about 60% of it.
It's not a... That had so much more potential. That last spin, dead spin.
I'll spin a couple while you got it for me. What do you got?
Let me take a look. Those are some good questions.
My take on anything gaming related, streaming related.
I'm not even gonna... I'm gonna take one of the questions off of... Oh, do it? Sorry, distraction. So, I'm gonna take one of the questions off the list, but I'm gonna change this up a bit.
I'm gonna go into... Sure, go for it. Each spin's 5 times likely more. Okay, I'm gonna do one of these little minis here.
Yeah, it just gives you a little chance at you do a couple of them, you get a chance at hitting the bonus.
Yeah.
No dodging, and there's one follow-up. Okay, cool. So, if you had to delete one game from the last decade. Forget 2025 because we know this year was relatively subpar for the most part.
Uh-huh.
If you had to delete one game from the last decade out of history, it doesn't exist. What is it?
Out of history. Like it just will
Like
not have
like it
been.
doesn't exist. It would never ever existed in the last 10 years. So between 2015 and now.
Oh man. I'm thinking about genres in general.
Yeah, I just like that there's no dodging. You have to kind of just sit here and figure it out.
Fortnite was like a drug that took over the world, but it led the way to so many games that I like that if it wasn't around, it would have the butterfly effect on things like Apex and Warzone.
Okay, I agree with that.
So I'm gonna spare Fortnite.
Okay.
Call of Duty's older than that, but I'm pretty frustrated with their single player games. Honestly, like a lot of new generation sports games, like there hasn't been a good 2K game in God knows how long, but that's older than 10 years. But I would probably just gut every single 2K basketball and hockey game over the last decade if I could. Because they haven't brought anything new to the table
They really
in so
haven't.
long that I think that I would just be fine to purge them from the internet. Just get rid of them altogether. That's fine.
I
If we're
don't
talking
think I
about,
disagree.
yeah, I'm trying to think of games like where it's like just a one-off that I just wish was never made.
Well, that's a tough one. They've got me actually thinking too.
Oh, that the day before. Remember that game the day before? Was that what it's called? It was like a zombie game that they promised like some big open world thing, and then when it came out, it wasn't what they promised in the advertisements, and then they gutted it. But they led like 2 years of trailers up before that.
Uh
Yeah, they made it sound like it was going to be some crazy open world MMO
that
zombie
was the
survival
zombie
game.
survival
Yeah,
extraction shooter by
exactly. But
Fantastic.
exactly. They built it up to be this crazy big MMO that I got all my friends hyped on for like a year or two because they talked about it so early. And then when
Yeah.
it actually came out, it was just an extraction shooter that lasted about a week before they took it off Steam, basically deplatformatized it, whatever, just
Yeah,
got rid of the damn
and it
thing
was
altogether and it was
January
gone.
of last year. They shut the
Yeah,
servers down permanently.
that was shortly after it came out. I wish that I never heard about that game
That's
because I
valid.
wasted so much time getting like excited about some stupid shit that never happened properly. And then literally
Yeah.
now, since then, people have like this PTSD moment of like, if I tell them this cool game's coming out, they're like, "Are you sure? Is it going to come out? Is it going to be as good as you think it's going to be? Is it going to be like, just this whole thing?" And so
Okay, that's valid.
so like
So
my opinion went like downhill when it comes to games. Like a lot of my friends are like, "Yeah, I'm not getting hyped up till your game comes out for real," and other people say they like it. So that one did a big one on me. So th-
so I've got a follow up for it because
yeah,
I have an opinion on the follow up question that I'm going to ask you.
awesome.
So to counteract the whole deleting one from history, if you could bring back one game in the last 15 years that did not survive, like it came out, it was playable, and then it kind of shit the bed, what would it be?
Would it be shit the bed or they just fizzled out?
Both.
Because
Like
I
like
think
it was
Resistance for PlayStation,
wow. Okay.
if they made a Resistance 4 and they enabled PvP multiplayer play, I think Resistance could make an amazing comeback,
That's
but it fizzled
valid.
out. Also Killzone.
Oh, that's valid. See, mine's a little almost brings a tear to my eye.
What's that?
H1Z1. I want it back. The standalone bonus us in for the no. The standalone H1Z1 before they changed it to the crap they changed it and then it fizzled out.
Hmm.
I played the absolute
Come on. There we go.
yes. I was waiting. I was waiting. I played the absolute fuck out of
Eight free
H1Z1.
spins. Yeah.
That was such a good game. I wish it wasn't down. There was also another one I own on Steam. I can't remember what it was called. I think I still own it, right? Like if it just isn't playable anymore, it would exist, right? It was excuse me. I don't think I even have it. Okay, I do still have it, and I know it's dead because they haven't done anything, and it makes me really sad. There was a game back in the day.
That's
The
good.
last time I played was 20. Oh shit.
Hmm. We're about to make
Okay.
it back.
All right, let's go.
We're at 79.
The last time I played this was July 2016.
But damn.
It was called Reign of Kings. It was like a, I'll take it, a
Yeah, 100's 100.
chivalry medieval style like PvP. It was absolutely
Kind of sounds
incredible.
like For Honor.
It was like Conan Exiles,
Okay.
but way worse. But I loved it so much. It was such a good game. I have 85 hours in it because that's all I had to play before it ended. But it was incredible. Like you were raiding people's bases with catapults and trebuchets, and like you would like have to literally deal with weight and dysentery and all these things you had back in the medieval times. It was incredible. I would
Wait.
love to
Like
resurrect both of
being
them.
over encumbered.
Yeah,
That's a mechanic I hate about video games, but that's a
I hate it now. I
whole other
didn't mind it
conversation.
back then.
Yeah,
I
back then, I
liked it
mean,
back
you get
then
what you get.
because it was like cool, but now everything sucks.
Obviously, I feel like I can't leave this out. Gwent is sort of in a spot right now where developers are not putting out new cards and there's no more annual world championship. So if I were to say a game that died that I would want to revitalize, that's got to be top of the list because I still make games like videos on it all the time, right? Even though there's only balance changes, there's not new card sets, there's not global tournaments. So, bringing that one back from the dead would be awesome. Seeing sequels and like kind of tapping into hidden potential of the Killzone franchise and the Resistance franchise. To
Mhm.
kind of summarize that question, like those are ones that I've been thinking about for a very long time. That'd be
Yeah,
something to
it's
get.
gotta be tough for you because like I looked at your channel and I do see a lot of your content is with Gwen. It's gotta be something you're real. I'm assuming you're really hoping for like a revival. Because
Yeah, and I don't think we're gonna get it. I know that they're gonna make some kind of iteration of Gwent in The Witcher 4 that's coming out,
oh,
that's been confirmed.
okay,
However, something else to get excited about, I was just invited to the partner program of the new Cyberpunk card game that's coming out. So
oh
they
shit,
just did a trailer, like a hype trailer for Cyberpunk card game. Now it's starting off as a physical game. At some time, I would hope that it goes digital because that's where it's really going to shine for
100%.
online streaming communities. But
Yeah,
at least we're getting something to get excited about, and something that I could do and sort of purpose that channel to keep it in line with what
yeah,
I've been doing and
of
not kind
course.
of deviate too much there. So good things to come for 2026. That's just one of the few, and that's kind of how it's been for the year of gaming for 2025, man. I just want to thank you because we're coming up towards the end of the show for coming on today. I've had a great time chatting with you. And obviously, I want to give you time to plug your channel, tell us everything that's coming up, where to find you, and, give me one reason
All right,
people should sub.
so I guess obviously first off, thank you. This has been a blast. Like it's definitely cool to meet creators, from the land of the maple syrup enjoyers.
Yep.
I find you meet so many of them, but you really never have the chance to actually sit down and talk because it's the content creation industry. We're all damn busy.
Yep.
We got time to sit down and do stuff like this. So this has been absolutely incredible for me, and I'm excited for my side of the community to see it.
Mhm.
Um, biggest thing you're gonna find me on, you're gonna find me on Kick. It's kick.com/defeated souls. My socials are all linked there. You're gonna hear the number one egg a lot of times if you tune in there. That is a whole thing. I used to have hair down to my shoulders. Chat told me no.
Just-
Made a fuck ton of money on one stream to take all of it off, and I don't really let it get longer than this. I'm gonna hop off here, go pick up my new parts for the PC, hop in the shower, get ready, build it. What's the plans for 2026? I don't know. Uh, I gotta get that going. I have to actually get that going, and obviously the new PC is gonna be built, so we're gonna be playing some aggressive games. We're gonna be playing them a little higher quality. Gonna try to work on editing and clips. The 9950X 3D is gonna be the editing beast. So, you
Yep.
know,
Yep.
if I had to give you one reason to sub, well, first off, preface, I'm not family friendly. You will see this dude in a speedo. But if I had to give you one reason to sub, honestly, I don't have one. If you sub, that just means I get to put food on my plate, but that's not the reason I do streaming. Yeah, it's my full time gig, but I want to make people laugh. So, like,
Yep.
if you want to get access to, me being stupid and doing dumb shit like eating terrible food and streaming in speedos and doing karaoke streams, yeah, sure, come on over. But like, my biggest thing, come over and follow. Come in, follow, vibe with me. If you like the content, hang around. Other than that, it's like we all say as creators, you following on the platform is big. If you're coming in and
Mhm.
chatting, I get paid that way. Anyone who's been in the Twitch partner program, been in the Kick partner program, we get paid on interaction. So it's not about the sub. Obviously subs are nice, cool. I like money, You know, I'd like to take care of my mom. You know, she's
Yeah,
getting
yeah.
some Christmas gifts. Actually, they're not coming for Christmas because I don't get my payout until later tomorrow. What are we today? Tuesday? Wednesday. Right. So actually, my pay should be in the account now. I'm gonna go buy her some Christmas gifts.
There you
But the
go.
point is, you know, I take care of Mama Soul. She occasionally pops in, but nah, just you know, vibe hangout. If you stick around, you like the content, cool. If not, it's a big world. You'll find somebody. But like my buddy says, you may meet your best friend in my chat, your next best friend, and never know. I've had people come in and they're friends with my community members just like that. So that's me in a nutshell.
Awesome, man. Well said. Again, appreciate having you on. It's been a blast, man. We went past the runtime tonight, so that speaks volumes. And I hope you guys liked episode 15 of the podcast. If you guys want to keep up with what we do every single Thursday and Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, make sure to drop a sub to the podcast. You can find us on Twitch, YouTube, Kick,
Down below, links
TikTok,
in the bio.
Instagram, you name it.
And
We'll be
we're
there.
gonna bring him to Kick. Don't worry, I'm working on it. I'm gonna
Yeah.
drag him over there too.
Yeah, we're definitely going to have plans for SideQuest to be on Kick more in 2026, as well as Qcento myself, right? So definitely something we're working on. Thanks for coming out, guys, for this one. And we'll see you very soon on the 27th, Saturday, for the next episode. Have a good night.
Merry Christmas, everyone.